All right. Thank you, Zeenat, for getting us those latest details. Well, like Zeenat was also pointing out, separatist leader Shabir Shah Srinagar House has been attached under the anti-money laundering law in case linked to funding terror activities. Thank you, Zeenat, once again for getting us those latest inputs. But moving on to more breaking news that is coming now. We're getting in an update in the Malegaon blast case. One more witness, in fact, has now turned hostile. The 28th witness turned hostile before the special NIA court today. The ATS witness number 24 and 90. Now, evidence number 281 has been declared hostile today by the court. In fact, the next hearing, what we're understanding so far, is going to be held on November 5th. So that is the big breaking news that is coming in. With the Malegaon blast case, where one more witness has now turned hostile. In fact, the 28th witness turned hostile before the special NIA court today. We have Alisha, who's getting us the latest on this. Alisha, over to you to give us the latest details. We're understanding this is the 28th witness who's turned hostile before the special NIA court in the Malegaon blast case.
Well, yes, it's a Malegaon 2008 blast case where the trial is underway. But today, 28 hostile, the 80th witness, number 24 and 90, and evidence number 281 has been declared hostile before by the special NI court. So far, what has been told that so now it's the statement which has been recorded and the statement that was recorded and the charge that was filed by the Maharashtra ATS. So all the witnesses, and now this is the 28th witness who have turned hostile before the special NI court, and moreover, the next date of hearing will be on the 5th of November. More important to note down that it's only in the trial now, only 106 witness testimony is to be recorded before the court. So sooner or later there will be even the wording that will be said before the court. But it is now too important to understand that it's a 28th witness which has turned hostile, and it was the 80th witness number 24 and 90 and evidence number 281 which has been declared hostile by the special NI court.
All right. Thank you, Alisha, for getting us those latest details. Like Alisha was pointing out, the update in the Malegaon blast case being that the 28th witness has turned hostile before the special NIA court today. In fact, ATS witness number 24 and 90, evidence number 281 has been declared hostile today by the court. Like Alisha was also pointing out, the next hearing will be held on November 5th. All right, so that is the big update that is coming in terms of the Malegaon blast case, where we're learning so far is that one more witness, in fact, has now turned hostile. Now, this is the 28th witness to turn hostile, remember that, before the special NIA court today. In fact, talking about the hearing of this particular case, the next hearing, like our principal correspondent Alisha Nair was also pointing out, will be held on November 5th. We'll, of course, continue to track that particular story, but moving on to other stories that we're tracking at this hour right now. A continued dip in Delhi and the NCR was reported this morning, with the AQI levels in the severe category across the region. Now, the AQI was recorded at 472 in the NCR, at 562 in Noida, 539 in Gurugram and 563 near Delhi University. The BJP held a press conference over the air pollution levels in the national capital, with the BJP Delhi President Adesh Gupta stating that Delhi had become a gas chamber and that was endangering the lives of children.
वो बच्चे, क्योंकि दिल्ली में हर दूसरा बच्चा बीमार हो रहा है, स्कूल जाने वाला एक बच्चा भी है, तो बच्चे तकलीफ में है, सांस लेना उनको दूभर हो रहा है। और दिल्ली में अरविंद केजरीवाल जी की सरकार ना तो प्रदूषण के कारणों का समाधान कर रही है और ना ही वो कोई भी बच्चों के स्कूल बंद हो इसके लिए कोई कार्रवाई कर रही है।
The Enforcement Directorate conducted raids across at least 12 locations in West Bengal and Jharkhand in connection with the illegal mining scam. Now, the raids were conducted in connection with land allegedly illegally occupied, with searches further conducted at the residence of Amit Agarwal, reported to be a close aide of Jharkhand Chief Minister Hemant Soren. Prime Minister Modi congratulated Benjamin Netanyahu for his most recent win while thanking outgoing Israeli Prime Minister Yair Lapid for prioritizing strategic relations between India and Israel. Foreign Secretary of India Vinay Quatra met the Secretary General of the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres with issues of pressing concern stated to have been discussed at the meet. Uttar Pradesh's anti-terror squad arrested 2 people whose names have come up following interrogation that revealed their links with Al-Qaeda in the Indian subcontinent and the Jamaatul Mujahideen. Breaking news that is coming in, South Korea scrambled some 80 fighter jets as 180. Now North Korean warplanes detected flying. Now South Korea scrambled dozens of fighter jets and other warplanes on Friday after detecting the mobilization of more than 180 North Korean military aircraft in various locations. And that's the big breaking news that is coming in. Now the North's planes were detected flying between around 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. over its inland areas as well as off the western and eastern coast, according to the Joint Chiefs of the Staff. Now, the North has been fiercely protesting the ongoing combined air drills of South Korea and the United States, called the Vigilant Storm. So that is the breaking news that is coming in, where South Korea scrambles with some 80 fighter jets as 180 North Korean warplanes detected flying. In fact, the South Korea scrambled dozens of fighter jets and other warplanes on Friday after detecting the mobilization of more than 180 North Korean military aircraft in various locations. For more information on this, we have Ankit Prasad, who's reporting live from the Mumbai newsroom. Ankit, give us more details about this. We're also understanding that the North's planes were detected flying between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. over its inland areas.
Absolutely. This is a breaking story of a escalation at the 38th parallel that separates South and North Korea. Now remember the context to this. The North has been conducting various missile tests, and the number of those missile tests has amped up sharply, almost 24 missile tests over 2 days, in response to which the US and South Korea conducted various drills along the North Korean border areas. Now the latest information is the South detected almost 180 warplanes of the North on various fronts along its inland territories, and in response to this it has scrambled a number of its jets, and these include stealth jets, US-made fighter jets as well as other airplanes. So currently we can estimate that there are planes in the skies over the Korean peninsula between the 2 South and North Koreas, and this is also at a time when the South is dealing with a lot of tumult. We know, of course, that the North is a country that is led by a supreme dictator whose current status is always questionable. But at this point, because of the Halloween tragedy and also because of the sharp escalation in the tensions between the South and the North, South Korea is also in some amount of tumult at this moment. The US is also always around the area. The US can never be distant from any activity that involves North Korea, because the US has always generally been the ringleader that has tried to crack down on the North practicing any kind of missile test, especially because it believes that the North, if it comes into access with a ICBM that can reach the US, would pose a significant risk. There is also a lot of chatter out there about whether or not the North has nuclear weapons. So at this point, because the US and the South Koreans have been practicing these drills in response to the North's missile tests, both sides have jets on the ground and in the air ready and mobilized. This is the latest information that's coming in, and this is from the South Korean news agencies as well. And so, viewers, this is the breaking update that we are getting right now, even as the visuals of various North Korean drills and South Korean fighter mobilizations run on your screens. Both of these sides, they are small countries in the Korean peninsula, but they are heavily armed because they pose, they believe, an existential risk to each other. The 38th parallel that divides South and North Korea has been the site of one of the biggest mobilizations in history, and that has remained until this day. We have seen various changes in it coming along. Sometimes the South Koreans fire propaganda speakers and leaflets across. North Korea responds with military mobilization. But right now, both the sides have aeroplanes in the skies is what we are told. South Korea has purportedly mobilized about 80 warplanes, and that number could rise. This is in response to detecting about 180 warplanes from the North Korean sides. Now, it's unknown what is the state of the North Korean Air Force. We've seen them practice their missile defense drills. We've seen how they have a lot of definitely soldiers on the ground, but the state of their Air Force is as such unknown. The South Koreans not only have a inbuilt airplane industry, but they also have linkages with Americans. They fly American F-16 aircraft as well. So there are a number of aircrafts which are in the air at this moment from both sides. And America is also patrolling the waters. That's where they have been conducting these military drills, these joint naval drills. And this comes after we've seen how periodically the North Koreans fire these ICBM missiles, and there has been speculation that the range of these missiles has kept on increasing. This is even as there's also a lot of chatter about whether or not the North Korean nuclear program is at any stage where it can pose a risk to generally what the US believes is everyone in the world. And so that is why there is an escalation here. It's a tension that has continuously simmered over the last few years, irrespective of the administration in the United States. But right now, because of the North Korean escalation in the number of drills that it has been conducting, and also the American and the South Korean response with regards to the naval patrolling of the Korean peninsula, there has been a sharp escalation which is now being witnessed in the skies.
Right. And Ankit, you're getting us all the updates from the Mumbai newsroom. But no, you know what happened was the North has been fiercely protesting the ongoing combined air drills of South Korea and the United States called Vigilant Storm. Now we know for a very, very long time, Ankit, and I will also be going through the reactions first. Viewers, we know for a very long time that North Korea and South Korea are not on the same page. Many reactions coming in as well. Let's listen into the reactions.
Secretary Austin and I affirmed that any nuclear attack by the DPRK, including the use of tactical nuclear weapons, is unacceptable and result in the end of Kim Jong-un regime by the overwhelming and decisive response of the alliance.
김정은 정권은 종말을 맞게 될 것임을 확인하였습니다.
This is a strong warning against the DPRK.
All right, viewers, so now we are seeing this latest development coming in where South Korea's military has said it has scrambled fighter jets after detecting some 180 North Korean warplanes near the border. And they are saying that our military detected around 180 North Korean warplanes mobilized in Pyongyang airspace. Seoul's Joint Chiefs of Staff has said this, adding that scrambled 80 fighter jets, including F-35As, while jets involved in the military drills with the US were also maintaining readiness. Now, Ankit, you're back with us, and I was telling our viewers as well, and if you could also talk a little bit more about it. I was saying that North Korea and South Korea have never been on the same page. And North Korea has never been very happy about South Korea's close association with the United States.
Most definitely, they are two countries that are chalk and cheese essentially. They each believe that the other poses an existential risk. That is why the 38th parallel has been in a state of advanced mobilization at both ends for decades now. We know the North Korean leadership, it has a supreme leader kind of culture. Kim Jong-un, before that Kim Jong-il, his father, and before that Kim Il-sung, all of them essentially cut from the same cloth, dictators, and one really doesn't know what really goes on in North Korea. South Korea, on the other hand, is a pluralistic democratic society. They have their foundations with the Chinese and Americans also playing a big role with regards to the Korean War. But regardless of that, coming to today, what we just heard right now was a South Korean official with clearly American backing talking about how if there is a proliferation of some kind of nuclear weapons or a nuclear escalation in that regard, the Kim Jong-un regime will not survive. So this is a direct threat that has been made against Kim Jong-un, the supreme leader of North Korea. Korea against his regime, and that is perhaps one of the reasons why the North has reacted so fiercely. Of course, this goes along with everything else that's been going on. When the Donald Trump times, we saw somewhat of a cool down because the two leaders, that is Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un, they had a meeting in Singapore. But now with the Biden administration, there has been an amping up of tensions on both sides, and the South also has witnessed some protest against siding with America at all times. There is a group of politicians in South Korea, or a line of politics that does not want them to ally so closely with the US. They think that that is also dangerous. But for the moment, the current South Korean regime remains working closely in alliance with America, and that is something that the North will not accept. And so we have this situation where there are fighter planes in the skies above the Korean peninsula. Just to add a little context to what you said, Shivangi, the F-35 is an American-made jet. It is the 5th generation stealth fighter jet. So that just tells you that while Korea has mobilized its jets, those are American jets in the skies above the Korean peninsula.
Right, Ankit. Ankit, a big alarm has been sounded as North Korea has begun this kind of escalation. Let's go ahead and listen in to a soundbite of the South Korean leader on this developing story.
Secretary Austin and I affirmed that any nuclear attack by the DPRK, including the use of tactical nuclear weapons, is unacceptable and result in the end of Kim Jong-un regime by the overwhelming and decisive response of the alliance.
대응에 의해 김정은 정권은 종말을 맞게 될 것임을 확인하였습니다.
This is a strong warning against the DPRK.
All right, viewers. So a strong warning coming from South Korea. This is a very, very important phrase there. Very strong warning. And just a few days back, Ankit, North Korea had warned South Korea and US that the decision to extend the vigilant storm, joint military air drills, would push tension to an uncontrollable phase. That's the word that they use, uncontrollable phase. The North Korea keeps making these kind of, they keep giving warnings again and again. This time they gave a warning, but right now it seems as if they are taking that threat very, very seriously. And they do see a threat from South Korea's military drills with the US.
Yes, but historically, if you see, the South Koreans and the Americans are always generally escalating in response to something that the North has done. And in this case, the last many months, Shivangi, we have seen how the North has been practicing various missile and ballistic launches of its seaboard. We've seen how Japan has also oftentimes detected various missile tests from the North Korean side in the Sea of Japan. And that is in any case an area that has over time witnessed an escalation in the terms of military vessels that patrol those areas. The Chinese, of course, are also always there. They are generally at loggerheads with the United States and its allies, including Japan and South Korea. But this occasion, we have on both sides fighter jets, and one just hopes that nothing untoward happens. These are a lot of the time moves made to aggrandize each other, but keep a safe distance away. But the fact that this time the kind of escalation from the North is a little different. America and South Korea are also mobilizing in response, and also you can always know that along the 38th parallel there are plenty of troops also always generally stationed there, and they will also have picked up on their level of alertness.
All right, Madhav Nalapat is joining us on the phone line. Thank you for joining us here. And, I would like you to first speak about what exactly do you think are the next few steps that we're going to see right now. Is it just, a kind of a warning signal from both the sides, or do you think this might escalate further?
Well, I'm glad Republic is highlighting this for the simple reason that wars are caused by a misunderstanding of the other side, sometimes by both sides. The reality is that South Korea now has a very assertive president. The previous president was very accommodative towards North Korea. The current president thinks that the North Korean regime is going to collapse at any moment and the Kim family will vanish into history. That hasn't happened for all these 70 years. But, and assuming it does not happen, which is my view, then, he's creating trouble for himself. and that's why he's becoming unpopular. The fact is, don't provoke a dictator unless you have the means to control him. And that is the point. And now, unfortunately, the world doesn't have the means because North Korea has gone very far and very fast in building a nuclear deterrent and systems to reach that deterrent. And I'm reasonably certain that the Chinese have been very helpful in this. It may not be directly, but definitely in other ways, because for them, North Korea is what Pakistan is to India, a constant irritant that takes away attention from China to Pakistan, and the same way taking away Japan's attention from China to North Korea. So frankly, we are in a very escalatory, dangerous situation, and I think it's time the South Korean president realized that, assuming that he is wrong and that Kim is not going to disappear in a cloud of smoke, he is doing something very provocative. And the people of South Korea, they're wonderful people. Korean people generally are wonderful. They don't want this kind of, frankly, this kind of brinkmanship.
Right. Madhav Nalapat, foreign affairs expert, I would also like to ask you this question. And you're saying that, of course, it's not a very good idea to, in fact, go ahead and engage with a dictator like Kim Jong-un. But now the South Korea and the US say that their extension of Vigilant Storm, which was a military drill they were doing, is owing to North Korea's recent provocation. So they are saying that North Korea is provoking them.
Look, I can only say one thing, and that is, let's be honest. There is no political appetite in the US. And you're going to have a lot of body bags if you cut.
दिल्ली के अंदर आपातकालीन सेवाओं को छोड़ करके BS6 वाहनों को अनुमति होगी, उसके अलावा सब पर प्रतिबंध रहेगा।
सर पेट्रोल भी BS6 जो नहीं होगा उस पर भी प्रतिबंध,
डीजल पे। दिल्ली के अंदर इसको सक्सेसफुली इंप्लीमेंट करने के लिए आज हमने बैठक में 6 सदस्यीय मॉनिटरिंग कमेटी का गठन किया है, जो स्पेशल कमिश्नर ट्रांसपोर्ट के नेतृत्व में बनाई गई है। ये जो 6 सदस्यीय मॉनिटरिंग कमेटी है, इसमें 2 मेंबर ट्रांसपोर्ट से होंगे, 2 मेंबर ट्रैफिक पुलिस के और 2 DPCC से मेंबर रखे गए हैं। ये जो 6 सदस्यीय कमेटी बनाई गई है, इनको ये इंश्योर करना है कि दिल्ली के अंदर इस बैन का इम्प्लीमेंटेशन सही तरीके से हो। इसके साथ साथ अभी हम हरियाणा और उत्तर प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्रियों को पत्र लिख रहे हैं, क्योंकि ये सारे ट्रक दिल्ली के अंदर जो जरूरी ना हो, उनके लिए ईस्टर्न और वेस्टर्न पेरिफेरल एक्सप्रेसवे बनाया गया है। तो इन दोनों राज्यों से हम निवेदन कर रहे हैं कि जो पेरिफेरल एक्सप्रेसवे है, उसका जो एंट्री पॉइंट है, वहीं से इन गाड़ियों को डाइवर्ट किया जाए, क्योंकि वो गाड़ियां दिल्ली के बॉर्डर तक जब आ जाती हैं, खासतौर से गुड़गांव में, वो अगर पेरिफेरल एक्सप्रेसवे से डाइवर्ट नहीं होती हैं और गुड़गांव के बॉर्डर तक आ जाती हैं दिल्ली के, वहां से उन गाड़ियों को डाइवर्ट करना, वापस करना बहुत कठिन काम हो जाता है। और पिछले साल जो अनुभव आया कि बहुत लंबा लंबा जाम लग जाता है। तो इसलिए उन दोनों राज्यों के मुख्यमंत्रियों को हम पत्र लिख रहे हैं कि वहां पर अधिकारियों को निर्देश दिया जाए कि जो एक्सटर्नल और वेस्टर्नल जो पेरिफेरल एक्सप्रेसवे है वहीं से गाड़ियों को डाइवर्ट कर दिया जाए। उससे जो है, चूंकि इनका प्रवेश एनसीआर में भी ऑलरेडी बैन किया गया है, जो सीओक्यू ने ऑर्डर दिया है, तो वहीं से अगर डाइवर्ट हो जाएंगे तो दिल्ली के जो बॉर्डर पे जो जाम की सिचुएशन बनती है उससे जो है वो मुक्ति मिल सकती है। तो आज अभी डिस्कशन में ट्रांसपोर्ट ट्रैफिक पुलिस डीपीसीसी के साथ ये निर्णय लिया है हमने। अगला जो हमने आज निर्णय लिया है कि दिल्ली के अंदर हम वैसे तो पिछले साल से इस बार अभी इलेक्ट्रिक बसें भी बढ़ी हैं और सीएनजी की बसें भी बढ़ी हैं, लेकिन अभी आज हमने निर्देश दिया है ट्रांसपोर्ट विभाग को कि वो 500 प्राइवेट पर्यावरण बस सर्विस दिल्ली के अंदर शुरू करने की तैयारी करें। तो ये ट्रांसपोर्ट को डायरेक्शन दिया गया है। तो दिल्ली के अंदर अब पर्यावरण बस सर्विस, जो एक्स्ट्रा बसों के संचालन की तैयारी भी ट्रांसपोर्ट डिपार्टमेंट करेगा। 500
पर्यावरण बसेज आर डिफरेंट।
पर्यावरण बस सेवा नहीं, इससे मतलब ये जो पर्यावरण के लिए स्पेशली ये हायर करते हैं, तो जो सर्विस चलाते हैं उसका नाम उन्होंने रखा हुआ है पर्यावरण बस सेवा।
इसमें क्या इलेक्ट्रिक बसेस ही होती
हैं? नो, ये प्राइवेट बसें होती हैं।
प्राइवेट बसेस रन ऑन सीएनजी।
तो ये प्राइवेट से हायर करते हैं और उनको फिर हम पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट की तरह जो है वो उपयोग करते हैं। अगला जो निर्णय लिया गया है मीटिंग में कि दिल्ली सरकार के अंदर जो वर्कफोर्स है 50% वर्क फ्रॉम होम करेगी। जी, दिल्ली सरकार का मैंडेटरी।
सिर्फ सरकारी दफ्तर।
सरकारी दफ्तर, दिल्ली सरकार के जो दफ्तर हैं 50% वर्क फ्रॉम होम करेंगे। जो प्राइवेट दफ्तर हैं उनके लिए भी हम एडवाइजरी जारी करने जा रहे हैं कि वो भी इसको फॉलो करें। अगला जो अभी निर्णय लिया गया है कि एसडीएम्स दिल्ली के अंदर जितने आरडब्ल्यूएज हैं उनकी मीटिंग कॉल करेंगे और जो उनके यहाँ गार्ड हैं, जहां पे गार्ड हैं जो नाइट ड्यूटी करते हैं, उनको इलेक्ट्रिक हीटर प्रोवाइड करेंगे। इसके मॉनिटरिंग की और मीटिंग करके एसडीएम्स को यह निर्देश दिया गया है कि इसको पूरे दिल्ली के अंदर इंप्लीमेंट कराएं। साथ ही साथ रेवेन्यू कमिश्नर्स को ये निर्देश दिए गए हैं कि वे लोकल लेवल पे जो मार्केट्स हैं और जो ऑफिसेज हैं उनके एसोसिएशंस के साथ मीटिंग करके आगे इस संभावना का एक चार्ट बनाएंगे कि उनका टाइमिंग कैसे ऊपर नीचे किया जाए। अलग अलग टाइम जो है वो मार्केट्स के खुलने का, ऑफिसेज के खुलने का टाइम को भी स्टेगर्ड करने का एक चार्ट वो तैयार करेंगे वहाँ मार्केट एसोसिएशंस के साथ, और फिर उसे वो सरकार को सबमिट करेंगे, जिससे आगे उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करने के लिए निर्णय लिया जाएगा। जो इंडस्ट्रीज हैं दिल्ली के अंदर, वैसे तो हमने यहाँ पर इंडस्ट्रीज को पीएनजी में कन्वर्ट कर दिया है, लेकिन फिर भी अगर कोई इस तरह की अवहेलना कर रहा हो तो उसको स्ट्रिक्टली मॉनिटर करने के लिए 33 टीमें डीपीसीसी की बनाई गई हैं जो पूरे इंडस्ट्रीज को मॉनिटर करेंगी। साथ ही साथ जितने विभाग हैं जो अभी तक वाटर स्प्रिंकलिंग का काम कर रहे हैं, जो कंस्ट्रक्शन बैन को मॉनिटर कर रहे हैं, उन सारे कामों को डेली बेसिस पे रिपोर्टिंग करने का आप सिस्टम बनाया गया है, उसको निर्देश दिया गया है। और जो हॉट स्पॉट्स हैं, हमने आनंद विहार, विवेक विहार में स्पेशल ट्रायल किया था और उसका थोड़ा सा परिणाम पॉजिटिव है। तो आज ये डायरेक्शन दिया गया है कि जो बाकी हॉट स्पॉट्स हैं उन जगहों पर भी स्पेशल एक टास्क फोर्स बना करके और जो वहां पे कार्रवाई करना है उसे सुनिश्चित किया जाएगा। तो दिल्ली के प्रदूषण के स्तर को देखते हुए ये महत्वपूर्ण निर्णय लिए गए। सुबह माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी ने ऑलरेडी दिल्ली के अंदर जो प्राइमरी स्तर के स्कूल हैं उसको बंद करने का और उसके ऊपर के कक्षाओं के आउटडोर एक्टिविटीज को बंद करने की घोषणा ऑलरेडी कर दी थी। उसके लिए भी डायरेक्शन जारी किया जा रहा है। कोई क्वेश्चन हो तो ले लीजिए।
तो क्या पार्किंग चार्जेस भी बढ़ाने की संभावना है डीमोटिवेट करने के लिए?
वो ऑलरेडी वो तो डायरेक्शन पहले ही जा चुका है, वो तो फेज 3 में ही जा चुका है।
पिछली बार पर्यावरण
जी
पिछली बार पर्यावरण बसें जब आई थी तब ऑड इवन की चर्चा हो रही थी कि गाड़ियों की कमी न से पर्यावरण बसों, तो क्या उसकी तैयारी कर रहे हैं ऑड इवन की?
जैसा मुख्यमंत्री जी ने आज बताया कि उसको लेकर के सरकार विचार कर रही है और अगर उसकी जरूरत पड़ती है तो उसी तरह से निर्णय लेगी। पर्यावरण बस सर्विस में पिछली बार भी हमने इसको लिया था और हमने शटल सर्विस शुरू की थी। खासतौर से जो कर्मचारी आते हैं तो ये पर्यावरण बसें आने के बाद जिनका जो कर्मचारियों की कॉलोनियां हैं जहां से एक साथ लोग आते हैं तो हम वहां पे शटल बस सर्विस शुरू करते हैं, जिससे कि जो लोग दफ्तर आ भी रहे हैं वो भी अपनी प्राइवेट गाड़ी न लाएं। तो वो ये पर्यावरण बस सर्विस से हम शटल सर्विस जहां जहां जरूरी होगा वहां शुरू करेंगे।
सर क्या ऑड इवन के लिए कोई डेडलाइन है, कोई बेंचमार्क है जिसके बाद आप लोग ऑड इवन करेंगे? 500 के ऊपर गया कुछ इस तरह का देख रहे हैं?
वो अभी जैसा मुख्यमंत्री जी ने कहा कि उन सारी चीजों को उस पर कंसिडरेशन चल रहा है एंड लोगों से एक्सपर्ट से राय लेकर फिर सरकार निर्णय लेगी।
सर ये बसें कब से शुरू हो रही है?
जी आज हमने डायरेक्शन दिया है, ये हायर करेंगे उसके बाद शुरू करेंगे।
Sir, about small motor vehicles, can you clarify which are allowed and which are
पैसेंजर
banned?
व्हीकल्स के लिए
जैसे cars हुआ and all that, which कौन से allowed है कौन से banned है?
कार मतलब
पैसेंजर व्हीकल जो रहता है
नहीं, इसमें मैंने आपसे कहा जिसमें जो डायरेक्शंस हैं, दिल्ली में पंजीकृत डीजल चालित मध्यम माल वाहन गाड़ियों पर प्रतिबंध है।
So no passenger.
नो
पैसेंजर कार चाहे BS4 हो 5 हो BS4 हो या 6 हो दोनों चलेंगे।
हाँ, उसमें अभी प्रतिबंध नहीं है, अभी जो डायरेक्शंस है
नो बैन।
इसमें जो है जो
डीजल पैसेंजर कार,
हाँ नो डीजल चालित जो माल वाहन है उस पर प्रतिबंध है।
लेकिन सर CAQM का जो निर्देश था कि BS6 के नीचे की सारी गाड़ियों पे डीजल गाड़ियों पे प्रतिबंध है।
नहीं, वो BS6 की जो डीजल गाड़ियां हैं उन पे सब पे प्रतिबंध है। हाँ, लेकिन ये जो मैं बता रहा हूँ जो डीजल की जो माल वाहन गाड़ियां हैं जो दिल्ली के अंदर रजिस्टर्ड हैं उनको एसेंशियल सर्विस को छोड़ करके उन पे प्रतिबंध लगाया गया।
और नॉर्मल पैसेंजर गाड़ियां BS6 के नीचे की सारी
सब पे बैन,
डीजल पे बैन है ना?
डीजल पे।
सर जो वर्क फ्रॉम
No,
होम
no,
किया है,
sir, I'm sorry, but I did not understand. Please explain.
हाँ, मैं पूरी लाइन पढ़ देता हूँ।
No, no, लाइन में समझ गई, but passenger vehicles,
हाँ जी,
non BS6 हो अगर है,
हाँ,
बैन है या नहीं है? नॉन
डीजल
नॉन BS6 मतलब BS6 नहीं,
नॉन BS6
जो BS6 नहीं है पैसेंजर व्हीकल,
हाँ वो बैन है, इसमें तो यही लिखा है। मैं एक बार और CAQM से क्लियर कर लेता हूँ।
हाँ
सर वर्क फ्रॉम होम वाला को समझा दीजिए कि एक दिन आएंगे एक दिन नहीं आएंगे, हिसाब से चलेगा सरकारी में?
नो पर डे हर डिपार्टमेंट उसकी जो वर्क फोर्स है तो एसेंशियल जो वर्क है उनको छोड़ करके वो 50% का वो एक चार्ट बना देते हैं। तो वर्किंग डे में 50% वर्क फोर्स मौजूद रहेगी, 50% जो है वो अपने घर पे रहेगी।
सर प्राइवेट के लिए कैसे करेंगे सर?
प्राइवेट के लिए एडवाइजरी है, सरकारी के लिए मैंडेटरी।
आगे चल के क्या हो सकता है कि सरकार की तरफ से अगर स्थिति खराब होती है तो
वो देखते हैं आगे, हम तो डेली रिव्यू कर रहे हैं।
A major infiltration attempt was foiled by the Indian Army in Poonch of JNK after soldiers posted in the region observed movement from across the line of control. One terrorist was shot at with weapons and ammunition was recovered from the site of the incident after the operations. Chairman of the UP Madrasa Education Board, while speaking on the Madrasa report to be submitted on 15th of November, stated that all the fieldwork had been completed in connection with the survey and that there were at least 16,500 legal madrasas in UP. Karnataka BJP leader Renukacharya's nephew was found dead in a car that fell into a canal after he was missing since Sunday. The nephew's body was found near a canal near the Hunali taluk of Devanagari in Karnataka. And a quick roundup of all that's making news from across the country and the globe. Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan has alleged that the current Prime Minister, Interior Minister as well as an Army General were responsible for what has been referred to as a failed assassination bid on Imran Khan. Protests broke out in Pakistan's city of Karachi following the alleged assassination attempt on the PTI leader and former Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan that further led to the death of one of his supporters. TMC and the BJP clashed in front of the Central Minister of State Nitish Pramanik's convoy near Sitai in West in the Cooch Behar district in West Bengal. And high-octane drama that was seen as Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's
Iranian protesters and security forces clashed in a town near the capital, where state-run media reported at least 2 deaths following the incident. At least 300 protesters are reported to have been killed and thousands arrested since the unrest began. The protesters gathered in Karaj, just outside Tehran, to mark the 40th day since the shooting death of Hadis Najafi, one of the several young women to have been killed during the protest that broke out over alleged moral policing in Iran. The 40th day after someone's death has great symbolism in Shiite Islam and is marked by public mourning. Commemorating protester deaths has given momentum to the ongoing demonstration, just as it did during the 1979 revolution that overthrew Iran's earlier monarchy. Agency report for Republic TV.
Viewers, we continue to be live and breaking. The race for Gujarat intensifies. Aam Aadmi Party announcement on chief ministerial face today.
It's raring for adventure. A fierce hunter. The new breed rises above all others. A new breed of SUVs, the advanced Grand Vitara, rule every road.
And a quick roundup of all that's making news from across the country and the globe. Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan has alleged that the current Prime Minister, Interior Minister as well as an Army General were responsible for what has been referred to as a failed assassination bid on Imran Khan. Protests broke out in Pakistan's city of Karachi following the alleged assassination attempt on the PTI leader and former Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan that further led to the death of one of his supporters. TMC and the BJP clashed in front of the Central Minister of State Nitish Pramanik's convoy near Sitai in West in the Cooch Behar district in West Bengal. And high-octane drama that was seen as Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's rally happened in Himachal's Solan, where protesters gathered at a roadshow of the AAP convener, leading the police to lathi charge and disperse them. Some protesters were further taken into preventive custody. A case has also been registered at a school in Guna in Madhya Pradesh over school authorities allegedly punishing a student for shouting Bharat Mata Ki Jai. The complaint has also been raised by student's father, who was made to sit on the ground for 2 subject periods for raising the slogan. A major infiltration attempt was foiled by the Indian Army in Poonch of J&K after soldiers posted in the region observed movement from across the line of control. One terrorist was shot at with weapons and ammunition was recovered from the site of the incident after the operations.
Viewers, no end to stubble burning. Delhi AQI dips further. Citizens continue to choke. But Aam Aadmi Party versus BJP blame game continues. Citizens demand action now. Republic's unrelenting coverage leads to big action in Morbi tragedy. Chief officer suspended. The race for Gujarat intensifies. Aam Aadmi Party announcement on chief ministerial phase today. Complete chaos ensues in Pakistan after assassination attempt. Imran Khan calls for mega showdown. Viewers, a war of words over stubble burning continues after Delhi LG Saxena wrote a letter to Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann over the rising cases of stubble burning and the subsequent pollution. Mann has now hit back, saying that, I quote, LG Sahib, you are stopping the work of the elected government of Delhi. Stop the red light on car off campaign and are doing politics by writing to me. Politics is not right on such a serious subject. So we're getting back-to-back reactions coming in as well, viewers. And you also know that the Punjab CM has, in a press conference with Arvind Kejriwal, said that they're taking some measures to control air pollution. My colleague Piyush Ori has filed this report. Let's listen to it.
Close to noon in the national capital Delhi, but you can still see a thick layer of smog which is being covered entire city. In fact, as you can see the visual that is being presented by my video journalist Vijay Mahinder, you can see that how the thick layer of smog continues to envelop the entire city of Delhi. You can understand about how dangerous, how toxic and how unhealthy situation there is for the citizens of Delhi with this thick layer of smog and the visual that is being presented to you by my video journalist Vijay Mahinder. Now this is Dholakua flyover from where I'm reporting from. This is by far one of the busiest flyover of the national capital owing to its centrality. And here you can see that how there are thousands of vehicles that continue to ply, which is also one of the major reasons of contributing to the air pollution of Delhi. However, at the moment, despite having the large vehicles contributing to air pollution, it is not only this factor, but also stubble fires that is resulting to the toxic air which crore of citizens of Delhi and National Capital Region are inhaling. Now there is a blame game that is being played around by both the parties of why they are not being able to control the situation of stubble fires and several other factors that are contributing to air pollution in Delhi and National Capital Region. However, as you can see from the bird's eye view, from the images that is being presented to you by my video journalist Vijay Mahinder, you can see that how bad and how dangerous actually the situation over here in Delhi and National Capital Region over here has actually become. In the morning today, we reported from several schools in Delhi and highlighted you the kind of vulnerability which many children, especially those who are studying from classes 1 to 8, are facing in getting exposed to this deadly, to this toxic air. It seems the government now has taken cognizance, and like Noida, even the primary schools have now been asked to not allow students, at least from classes 1 to 8, to come to classes physically. These are all short-term measures by far. The thing is that now there has to be a concrete solution to improve the situation, to improve the air quality of Delhi. You can see from the images that is being presented to you by my video journalist Vijay Mahinder of how there is still a thick layer of smog even at a time where it should now be completely clear, even at a time when the sun has come out. So you can understand that the air in Delhi definitely is not fit to breathe. Will there be now some measures, some concrete measures that would be taken by the Delhi government and central government to improve the health of crore of citizens of not only Delhi but National Capital Region who are forced to inhale this toxic air? It will be interesting to see what steps will be taken ahead.
So viewers, my colleague Piyush Ori got us a report from Dhwala Kua in New Delhi, where he is highlighting the state of affairs when it comes to the national capital. You can see that there's a lot of smog already present in the air of Delhi. And this is an yearly tale. Now, BJP has urged Kejriwal to shut down schools amid worsening of Delhi pollution. Speaking in Republic over Delhi pollution, BJP's Shehzad Poonawalla has said that pollution is not a political issue. BJP, Congress and Aam Aadmi Party all breathe the same air. Pollution is a people issue. And he said, therefore, I request with folded hands, Mr. Kejriwal, please do not mess with children's lives and close the schools. So these are the visuals as well of the stubble burning which happens, and because of that a lot of pollution is seen in the air of Delhi. Let's have a look at the reactions coming in on this story.
सर लगातार पंजाब में पराली जलाई जा रही है, लगातार पंजाब में पराली जलाई जा रही है, दिल्ली में पोल्यूशन हो रहा है। सर आप जवाब तो दीजिए सर। आपकी सरकार ने कहा था कि आप काम करेंगे, करेंगे सर, लेकिन कुछ हुआ नहीं है। भगवंत मान जी, इस तरह से कब तक होगा सर? सो आप देख सकते हैं किस तरह से पंजाब के मुख्यमंत्री भगवंत मान जो अभी कपूरथला हाउस से निकले, हमने उनसे पूछा कि लगातार दिल्ली में प्रदूषण हो रहा है, कौन जिम्मेदार है उसका? क्योंकि इनकी सरकार ने कहा था, आम आदमी पार्टी की सरकार ने कहा था कि जब उनकी सरकार बनेगी तो सरकार काम करेगी, आम आदमी पार्टी काम करेगी और दिल्ली में प्रदूषण नहीं होगा। लेकिन लगातार पराली जलाए जाने की वजह से दिल्ली का प्रदूषण लेवल जो है लगातार बढ़ता जा रहा है। लोगों को काफी दिक्कतों का सामना करना पड़ रहा है, लोग सांस तक ढंग से नहीं ले पा रहे हैं।
Also, viewers, those are exclusive visuals and an exclusive conversation, or an attempted conversation, I should say, where Republic TV confronted the Punjab CM and on the rise of Delhi pollution due to stubble burning in Punjab, as it accounts for 34% of Delhi's pollution levels. The Punjab CM waved away all the questions of Republic TV. Amandeep is joining me. Amandeep, I just want to go straight to you. Some time ago, there was a joint press conference. Arvind Kejriwal and Bhagwant Mann had said a few points in that press conference where they were also kind of making sure that all the allegations that the BJP is leveling against them, they made some points about that. Let's hear that from you. What did they say and how did the BJP respond to that later on?
Well, Shivangi, the point is the Delhi Chief Minister and Punjab Chief Minister, they are trying to politicize this issue. We need to understand the gravity of this issue. The point is that instead of getting into the political blame games, Punjab Chief Minister should concentrate on the farmers' issue in Punjab. And Delhi Chief Minister should concentrate on the Delhi air pollution. And even the Punjab Chief Minister is on the receiving end when the farmers are not satisfied. This issue cropped up just because the stubble was extensively burning in Punjab by the small-scale farmers. The farmers who are having the land up to 5 acres, they are the only one practicing this stubble burning to clear their fields for the next crop. And in fact, just because they are not in position to afford the heavy machinery for the alternate process of stubble burning. And even they cannot bear the transport cost of this stubble to transport this stubble bundles to some energy plant. So that is the reason. And in fact, they are demanding that either Punjab government should provide any kind of compensation regarding this stubble burning or subsidy or any kind of financial assistance regarding this, so that at least they will be able to bear their own expenses to make an alternate route. And even they are in hurry. These small scale farmers have no time to wait and watch for the alternate process to clear their field, just because they are in very much hurry. They are earning their bread and butter from this these agriculture crop, and in fact their season for the wheat is almost on has already started, and in fact that is the reason they wanted to clear their land at the earliest. But yes, the political blaming has started, but the point is that for Punjab stubble burning, Punjab government is entirely responsible. The data
Amandeep, some breaking news coming in right now. This is regarding the Morbi tragedy. Some big breaking coming in right now. Let's put that out for viewers. Oreva top management to be summoned in Morbi bridge collapse case. Oreva MD could get summoned. Police are waiting for FSL final report as well. So back-to-back updates coming in. It's a big Republic investigation impact that we're getting for you viewers right now. The police recording statements is of the victim's family. That's also what we're learning so far. And summons after complete set of statements and FSL report in hand. Back-to-back updates coming in viewers right now when it comes to the Morbi tragedy, where we are in fact getting you the top details that we're getting for you right now. Remember that Republic is making sure that we get you all the angles of the story, and we have been tracking the story very, very closely ever since that terrible tragedy which led to the death of over 135 people. The big update, the updates we're getting right now is that Oreva top brass to be summoned. Remember that for a very long time they were avoiding Oreva top brass was avoiding being confronted by Republic TV or even being summoned. But right now what we can tell you is that there has been some kind of movement there where Oreva top management will be summoned in the Morbi bridge collapse case. The Oreva MD could also be summoned. This is a very, very big development, and the police is also waiting for the FSL final report. Police recording statements of the victims' families. They are recording statements of the victims' families and summons after complete set of statements and FSL report in hand. So right now what's happening, viewers, is that the police, as we speak, and in the next day or two, will be recording more statements of the victims' families. And the summons will happen, the summons to the top brass of Oreva, that will take place after complete set of statements and FSL report is in hand, viewers. This is the big breaking we're getting for you right now on the Morbi tragedy which had taken place, viewers, where the bridge had collapsed. And the Prime Minister himself had gone and surveyed the tragedy site, and he had called a high-level meeting to review the situation. The Prime Minister himself had gone to the tragedy site where he had met the victims and the injured in the hospital of this terrible tragedy. This happened sometime on October 30th evening, where a nearly century-old suspension bridge in Gujarat's Morbi city had collapsed. Many people standing on it had fallen into the river, and more than 135 people lost their lives, while multiple agencies are undertaking rescue operations. We had seen multiple teams on spot that time. Now we can tell you is that the investigation has begun, and couple of updates coming in when it comes down to nailing down the accused and making sure that justice is served. So the big information that we are getting for you right now is coming in, where sources are telling Republic TV the Oreva top management will be summoned in the Morbi bridge collapse case. The Oreva MD could also be summoned. Number 3, the police is waiting for the FSL final report. Number 4, police recording statements of the victims' families. And number 5, the summons after complete set of statements and FSL report in hand. So this is the update we're getting right now, viewers, where even like we told you is that the investigation is continuing, but this is also Republic's big impact as we have been highlighting the issues and the problems which were in fact could have led to this terrible tragedy. All the reporters were on ground getting you the top updates right now. We have also confronted officials and administrators asking what had gone wrong. Now what we can tell you so far, viewers, is that the Republic is putting the focus on the Oreva owners, because at one point of time they were not available to even be questioned by Republic TV. But what we can tell you so far is that it's a big Republic TV impact. Time for some more updates from across the nation. At least 2,666 incidents of residue burning have been recorded in Punjab in the last 24 hours, with incidents of stubble burning reaching a total of 24,000 this year. Aam Aadmi Party's convener there, Arvind Kejriwal, and Punjab CM Bhagwant Mann has held a joint press conference over air pollution in Delhi, taking up the responsibility for the pollution in the national capital.
एक राज्य की हवा एक राज्य में नहीं रहती, इधर से हवा उधर जाती है, उधर से हवा इधर आती है। तो जैसा हम कई बार कह चुके हैं कि इसमें केंद्र सरकार को आगे आके इसके ऊपर स्पेसिफिक कदम उठाने पड़ेंगे ताकि पूरे उत्तर भारत को प्रदूषण से बचाया जा सके। ये पूरे उत्तर भारत की समस्या है, पहली चीज़। दूसरी चीज़, पंजाब में और दिल्ली में हमारी सरकार है। ये वक्त फिंगर पॉइंटिंग का नहीं है, ब्लेम गेम का नहीं है, एक दूसरे को गाली देने का नहीं है, इतने सेंसिटिव मुद्दे पे राजनीति करने का नहीं है।
Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal further stated that primary schools would be shut down from tomorrow and the outdoor activities was to be limited across North India. The BJP issued a fresh charge against the Delhi government, with BJP spokesperson Sambit Patra elaborated on the allegations that Delhi's Labour Ministry over migrant labourers, Delhi Building and other Construction Welfare Board.
2006 से तो 13 लाख से ऊपर रजिस्ट्री हुई है, मगर जब से आम आदमी पार्टी आई और मात्र 2018 से लेकर 21 के बीच, बिटवीन 2018 एंड 2021 लगभग 10 लाख वर्कर की रजिस्ट्रेशन जो है ये इस कालखंड में हुआ है, बिटवीन 2018 एंड 2021। 13 लाख 2006 से, और उसमें से लगभग 90% ये 2 वर्षों में 18, 19, 20, 21 ये जो 3-4 वर्ष का कालखंड है आम आदमी पार्टी का, उसके बीच में हुआ है।
The Supreme Court has agreed to an early hearing on the case of air pollution in Delhi, with the petition filed stating that the stubble burning was being done on a large scale in Punjab every day and that it was a question of right to life. Nainital High Court, while hearing a petition filed by Ankita Bhandari's parents in the Ankita Bhandari murder case, sought all evidence related to the scene of the crime. The court has given the special investigation team time till 11th of November to present evidence in the court. Reports have come out about terrorists opening fire on 2 migrant workers at Anantnag in Jammu and Kashmir. While one of the migrant workers was reported to have been from Bihar, the other is reported to have been from Nepal. Chief Officer of the Morbi Municipality, Sandeep Singh Zala, has now been suspended till the investigation in connection with the Morbi tragedy does not end and the real cause for the Morbi tragedy has been identified. Police officers and other officials in Pakistan's Punjab province were suspended by Chief Minister Chaudhary after the confession of the suspected attacker was leaked. The assailant is reported to have confessed that the former Prime Minister was his only target, that he had planned an assassination attempt ever since Imran Khan left Lahore. Congress leader Siddaramaiah commented on the MLA there's nephew, stating that the death looked suspicious, while further requesting for an impartial investigation by Karnataka's chief minister into the death. Viewers, much more coming up on the other side. We continue to be live and breaking this Friday afternoon. The race for Gujarat intensifies. Aam Aadmi Party announcement on chief ministerial face today. Plus, complete chaos ensues in Pakistan after assassination attempt. Imran Khan calls for mega showdown. Stay tuned to Republic TV.
QSMTHE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally. making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
And high-octane drama that was seen as Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's rally happened in Himachal's Solan, where protesters gathered at a roadshow of the AAP convener, leading the police to lathi charge and disperse them. Some protesters were further taken into preventive custody. A case has also been registered at a school in Guna in Madhya Pradesh over school authorities allegedly punishing a student for shouting Bharat Mata Ki Jai. The complaint has also been raised by student's father, who was made to sit on the ground for 2 subject periods for raising the slogan. A major infiltration attempt was foiled by the Indian Army in Poonch of JNK after soldiers posted in the region observed movement from across the line of control. One terrorist was shot at with weapons and ammunition was recovered from the site of the incident after the operations. Chairman of the UP Madrasa Education Board, while speaking on the Madrasa report to be submitted on 15th of November, stated that all the fieldwork had been completed in connection with the survey and that there were at least 16,500 legal madrasas in UP. Karnataka BJP leader Renukacharya's nephew was found dead in a car that fell into a canal after he was missing since Sunday. The nephew's body was found near a canal near the Honali taluk of Devanagari in Karnataka. And a quick roundup of all that's making news from across the country and the globe. Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan has alleged that the current
Some fresh updates coming in. What we're learning so far, viewers, is that the visuals you see on your screen is of Bajrang Dal staging a protest against Pakistan and its terror groups in Kashmir Valley for targeting innocent civilians. Anger broke out after 2 migrants were targeted by terrorists in Anantnag district of Jammu and Kashmir yesterday. So the visuals on the screen right now, viewers, you can see that Bajrang Dal is staging a protest in the Kashmir Valley. This is against Pakistan and its terror groups in Kashmir Valley for targeting innocent civilians. I repeat, targeting innocent civilians. Remember that we're seeing that a lot of activity there when it comes to terrorist activity where they have targeted innocent civilians. Also, the issue of civilians being shot at. Anger has broken out after 2 migrants were targeted by terrorists. All right, Gursam is joining us live. Gursam, take us through the details right now. We are seeing Bajrang Dal protesting there against Pakistan and its terror groups in the Kashmir Valley.
See, the people in Jammu and Kashmir are agitated over the targeted killings happening in the Kashmir Valley. Yesterday also we see how these terrorists, they resorted to their inhuman face, wherein they targeted the 2 non-locals, one from Bihar and other from the Nepal, who have come to earn their livelihood in the Kashmir Valley. They were targeted by the terrorists. However, they managed to get an escape. They were grievously injured and are being treated at a local hospital. But this shows that how Pakistan and the Pakistani terror groups are desperate so as to incite violence in the Kashmir Valley, so as to show their presence. And now the activists of the Bajrang Dal have taken to roads wherein they have burnt the flag of the Pakistan, the effigy of the Pakistan and the deep state that is totally focused on creating violence in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. The way they are pushing terrorist arms and ammunition into the Indian Territory and carrying out these kind of inhuman acts in the Kashmir Valley. The civilians are being targeted by the terror group so as to show their presence on ground in the Kashmir Valley. But the people in Jammu and Kashmir, they are agitated and they have said that this won't be tolerated. The Pakistan has to mend its way, or it's the government's call to give Pakistan a befitting reply so that this bloodshed in the Kashmir Valley comes to an end.
Right. Kursilwan, thank you for joining us and getting us all the details right now. The protesters are raising anti-Pakistan slogans there in the valley. And the visuals coming there, outrage against the targeted attacks that we have been seeing in the valley. Anger breaking out after 2 migrants were targeted by terrorists in Anantnag district of Jammu and Kashmir yesterday. There's a lot of agitation there, and of course a big call for safety in the valley. We have been seeing that for the past few months as well, when innocent civilians have been targeted by terrorists. And visuals there on your screen. After the hours after the cowardly attack in Anantnag, we are seeing protests break out.
यह है डबल इंजन का फर्क। अभी रेलवे लाइन बन रही है, रेलवे लाइन कीरतपुर से लेह तक बनेगी। 2015 में मोदी जी ने कैबिनेट कमिटी ऑन सिक्योरिटी में उसको अप्रूवल दी।
A major infiltration attempt was foiled by the Indian Army in Poonch of J&K after soldiers posted in the region observed movement from across the line of control. One terrorist was shot at with weapons and ammunition was recovered from the site of the incident after the operations. Chairman of the UP Madrasa Education Board, while speaking on the Madrasa report to be submitted on 15th of November, stated that all the fieldwork had been completed in connection with the survey and that there were at least 16,500 legal madrasas in UP. Karnataka BJP leader Renukacharya's nephew was found dead in a car that fell into a canal after he was missing since Sunday. The nephew's body was found near a canal near the Honali taluk of Devanagari in Karnataka. And a quick roundup of all that's making news from across the country and the globe. Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan has alleged that the current Prime Minister, Interior Minister as well as an Army General were responsible for what has been referred to as a failed assassination bid on Imran Khan. Protests broke out in Pakistan's city of Karachi following the alleged assassination attempt on the PTI leader and former Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan that further led to the death of one of his supporters. TMC and the BJP clashed in front of the Central Minister of State Nitish Pramanik's convoy near Sitai in the Cooch Behar district in West Bengal. And high-octane drama that was seen as Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's rally happened in Himachal's Solan, where protesters gathered at a roadshow of the AAP.
11 casualties were reported after bus collided with an SUV near Jhallar in Madhya Pradesh.
कलमता गांव है अमरावती से, वहाँ कुछ मजदूर जो हैं झल्लार क्षेत्र के मजदूरी के लिए गए हुए थे, जो 20 दिन से गए हुए थे। कल रात में वो तकरीबन 9 बजे वहाँ से निकले हैं और ये एक्सीडेंट हुआ है 2-2:15 बजे के करीब। ड्राइवर हमारे पास है, उसके जो कथन हुए हैं उसके अनुरूप उसको थोड़ी नींद आ गई और बस में जाके एकदम डैश हो गई गाड़ी। तो इसके कारण जो है टवेरा में 11 लोग थे और उन सभी के साथ हादसा हुआ है।
मैडम, इसमें जो मृतक लोग हैं उनको कुछ सहायता राशि भी दी जाएगी?
हाँ, जो विधिवत है वो सारी हम लोग प्रक्रिया पूर्ण करके जल्द से जल्द इनको सभी प्रकार की सहायता राशि देंगे।
The Prime Minister expressed his condolences following the collision, further announcing a 2 lakh rupee compensation to the next of kin, while 50,000 rupees announced to the injured. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
और ये वैक्सीन आप सब लोग बड़े नजदीक बैठे हुए हैं, किसी ने मास्क नहीं पहना है। ये इसलिए संभव हुआ है कि मोदी जी ने 219 करोड़ डबल डोज, साथ में बूस्टर।
And a quick roundup of all that's making news from across the country and the globe. Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan has alleged that the current Prime Minister, Interior Minister as well as an Army General were responsible for what has been referred to as a failed assassination bid on Imran Khan. Protests broke out in Pakistan's city of Karachi following the alleged assassination attempt on the PTI leader and former Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan that further led to the death of one of his supporters. TMC and the BJP clashed in front of the Central Minister of State Nitish Pramanik's convoy near Setai in West in the Cooch Behar district in West Bengal. And high-octane drama that was seen as Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's rally happened in Himachal's Solan, where protesters gathered at a roadshow of the AAP convener, leading the police to lathi charge and disperse them. Some protesters were further taken into preventive custody. A case has also been registered at a school in Guna in Madhya Pradesh over school authorities allegedly punishing a student for shouting Bharat Mata Ki Jai. The complaint has also been raised by student's father, who was made to sit on the ground for 2 subject periods for raising the slogan. A major infiltration attempt was foiled by the Indian Army in Poonch of J&K after soldiers posted in the region observed movement from across the line of control. One terrorist was shot at with weapons and ammunition was recovered from the site of the incident after the operations. Chairman of the UP Madrasa Education Board, while speaking on the Madrasa report to be continues to choke even as Netas continue to pass the buck. So politics that has erupted even as the AQI continues to deteriorate. We'll get you live coverage in the next half hour. First up, let's take a look at the top headlines you're tracking this afternoon. No end to stubble burning. Delhi AQI dips further. Citizens continue to choke. But AAP versus BJP blame game continues. Citizens demand action now. Race for Gujarat intensifies. AAP announcement on chief ministerial phase today. Complete chaos ensues in Pakistan after assassination bid. Imran Khan calls for mega showdown. Complete chaos ensues in Pakistan after assassination bid. Imran Khan calls for mega showdown. Well, the countdown for Gujarat polls has begun. It's going to be a very heated battle in Gujarat. The latest what we are given to understand is that the AAP will announce its CM phase today. So that's going to be an important development to watch out for. We'll go across to Priyanka as well for more on that. But that's a big breaking update coming in this hour. AAP all set to announce its CM phase today. Now remember, it's going to be a 2-phase election in the state of Gujarat. Arvind Kejriwal is likely to hold a press conference in just a short while from now. We'll go across to Priyanka as well to get us all those updates. But the breaking update coming in this hour from Battleground Gujarat is that Arvind Kejriwal is set to announce its CM phase in just a short while from now. And Gujarat polls, it's going to be a 2-phase election in the state of Gujarat. Remember the protocols and all the notifications that have been put out by the Election Commission as well. So a heated battle in the state of Gujarat. AAP looking to carve its footprint in the Battleground Gujarat. And Gujarat polls is going to be a 2-phase polls in the state of Gujarat on 1st of December and the 5th. Remember, the results will be announced on 8th of December. And the big update coming in this hour that the AAP will be announcing its CM phase today itself. It's a battle for the 182-member Gujarat Assembly seats. The term for this year's state government ends on 18th of February of next year. So 2-phase polls that will happen in the state of Gujarat on 1st of December and the 5th of December, and the update coming in this hour that an announcement is expected in just a short while from now by the AAP party on its CM phase in the poll-bound state. Now remember, in Gujarat, as per the electoral roll published, over 4.9 crore electorals will be casting their franchise to elect the chief minister, the next the next government that would come in power in the state of Gujarat. It is a two-phase polls in the state of Gujarat. More details on this. We'll go across to Priyanka for more on that, but the breaking update coming in this hour, all eyes on the CM phase that will be announced by the Aam Aadmi Party in just a short while from now. There has been a delay in the announcement of Gujarat poll dates because of the Morbi tragedy. So that is primarily the reason why the election date announcement was delayed by the Election Commission. The polling for the Gujarat polls will happen on December 1st and December the 5th. So two-phase polls that will take place. The results, of course, will be announced on December 8th along with the result of Himachal Pradesh. And that's a breaking update coming in this hour. We'll try go across to Priyanka as well for more on that, but that's a breaking update coming in this hour. For now, moving on to more news break coming in this hour. We'll go across to Priyanka in just a bit, but for now, tracking the big story coming in this hour of the air emergency in the national capital. Measures have been announced, but nothing seems to have been done on ground when we talk about concrete measures. Punjab, of course, being the main contributor of stubble burning, which is happening at a rampant pace in the state of Punjab. Remember, the Delhi LG has also written a letter to the Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann over the rising cases of stubble burning. The Supreme Court, of course, all set to hear the matter on 10th of November. Fast-paced developments coming in. But it's the citizens of the residents of the national capital who are having to face the brunt of it, who are at the receiving end of the stubble burning, the air pollution level, which is only increasing by the day in the national capital. Of course, the AAP and the BJP trading barbs over the rising pollution levels. But the question we are asking is who is to be held accountable for the rising pollution level. Before we go across to our reporters, let's listen in to that confrontation sequence with the Punjab Agriculture Minister.
आएंगे सर, जिस तरह से पराली को लेकर बार आज पराली की आज देखो कितना बदल सर, देखिए कितना बड़ा मुद्दा है जो दिल्ली तक गया है। आपके सीएम जो है वो दिल्ली में पहुंचे हुए हैं। ना एक मिनट में स्टॉल ओ सर मेरी बात सुनो। जब मैं पराली पे पीसी करूंगा तो फिर आ जाना ना। देखो कितना जबरदस्त काम। नहीं सर छोड़ो यार, छोड़ सब नहीं। जब मैं ऐसा नहीं मैं करूँ। नहीं आपने एयर क्वालिटी देखी पंजाब की? देखी है? फिर क्या बात करते हो? हरियाणा से अच्छी है, पंजाब दिल्ली से अच्छी, सभी से अच्छी है। एयर क्वालिटी नंबर 1 है। आप मत के बताओ। कोई बात नहीं है कि मामला जो है सुप्रीम कोर्ट तक जा रहा है। तहसीलदार जो अंदर दिए हुए हैं सर, तहसीलदार धालीवाल सर काम करना नहीं यार। मैं रोज बोलता पर ऐसा नहीं बोलूंगा।
भाई अब रहने दो यार, ये एग्जीबिशन का तुम यहाँ पे मुद्दा मत बनाओ यार। प्लीज यार, प्लीज सर
2 मिनट तो दीजिए सर। पराली का इतना बड़ा
एक मिनट यार, पराली कुछ नहीं की पंजाब के कोई मुद्दा नहीं आज तक।
सर मैंने आपको बोल दिया मैं पीसी करूंगा, आपने आ जाना उधर। अब बताओ। नहीं देखो बताऊंगा। नहीं देखो सर, पराली को लेकर इतना बड़ा इशू सर, इशू क्या? मैं प्रोग्राम किस में है? आप जबरदस्ती मेरे को बुला लेंगे तो फिर प्लीज मैं प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करूंगा, आपने उधर आ जाना। मत करो। तो आप ये देख रहे हैं कि एग्रीकल्चर मिनिस्टर हैं कुलदीप सिंह धालीवाल, जो जिनको कन्फ्रंट
जिनको कन्फ्रंट करने की कोशिश की जा रही है, लेकिन वो इस मुद्दे पर बोलने को तैयार नहीं है। उनका कहना है कि जब मैं प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करूंगा तो प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में बात की जाएगी। क्या कहना चाहेंगे सर, जिस तरह से पराली को लेकर बार
आज से पराली की आज देखो कितना बदल।
सर देखिए कितना बड़ा मुद्दा है जो दिल्ली तक गया है। आपके सीएम जो है वो दिल्ली में पहुंचे हुए हैं।
ना एक मिनट में स्टॉल। ओ सर मेरी बात सुनो। जब मैं पराली पे पीसी करूंगा तो फिर आ जाना ना। देखो कितना जबरदस्त काम। नहीं सर छोड़ो यार, छोड़ सब। नहीं जब मैं ना ऐसा नहीं मैं करूँ। नहीं आपने एयर क्वालिटी देखी पंजाब की? देखी है? फिर क्या बात करते हो? हरियाणा से अच्छी है, पंजाब दिल्ली से अच्छी, सभी से अच्छी है। एयर क्वालिटी नंबर 1 है। आप मत घबराओ। तो कोई बात नहीं है कि
मामला जो है सुप्रीम कोर्ट तक जा
सर तहसीलदार जो अंदर दिए हुए हैं सर, तहसीलदार धालीवाल सर
काम करना नहीं मैं रोज बोलता पर ऐसा नहीं बोलूंगा।
भाई अब रहने दो यार, ये एग्जीबिशन का तुम यहाँ पे मुद्दा मत बनाओ यार, प्लीज यार, प्लीज सर
2 मिनट तो दीजिए सर। पराली का इतना बड़ा
एक मिनट यार, पराली कुछ नहीं पंजाब च कोई मुद्दा नहीं आज
सर मैंने आपको बोल दिया मैं पीसी करूंगा, आपने आ जाना उधर। अब नहीं देखो बताऊंगा। नहीं देखो
सर पराली को लेकर इतना बड़ा इशू
सर इशू क्या? मैं प्रोग्राम किस में है? आप जबरदस्ती मेरे को बुला लेंगे तो फिर प्लीज मैं प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करूंगा, आपने उधर आ जाना। मत करो।
तो आप ये देख रहे हैं कि एग्रीकल्चर मिनिस्टर हैं कुलदीप सिंह धालीवाल, जो जिनको कन्फ्रंट करने की कोशिश की जा रही है, लेकिन वो इस मुद्दे पर बोलने को तैयार नहीं है। उनका कहना है कि जब मैं प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करूंगा तो प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में बात की जाएगी।
And as you just heard it, as appalling as it sounds, the Punjab minister, while speaking to the public, says that there is no air emergency in the state of Punjab and that the AQI in Punjab is the best. In fact, not just this, earlier in the day, we also spoke to the Punjab Chief Minister, Bhagwant Mann, who did not answer any of our questions, and later in the press briefing that he held, he clearly stated that the Punjab government has been in power for just 6 months and that the government needs time to take concrete measures in the state of Punjab. Listen in.
सर लगातार पंजाब में पराली जलाई जा रही है, लगातार पंजाब में पराली जलाई जा रही है, दिल्ली में पोल्यूशन हो रहा है। सर आप जवाब तो दीजिए सर। आपकी सरकार ने कहा था कि आप काम करेंगे, काम करेंगे सर, लेकिन कुछ हुआ नहीं है। भगवंत मान जी, इस तरह से कब तक होगा सर? सो आप देख सकते हैं किस तरह से पंजाब के मुख्यमंत्री भगवंत मान जो अभी कपूरथला हाउस से निकले, हमने उनसे पूछा कि लगातार दिल्ली में प्रदूषण हो रहा है, कौन जिम्मेदार है उसका? क्योंकि इनकी सरकार ने कहा था, आम आदमी पार्टी की सरकार ने कहा था कि जब उनकी सरकार बनेगी तो सरकार काम करेगी, आम आदमी पार्टी काम करेगी और दिल्ली में प्रदूषण नहीं होगा। लेकिन लगातार पराली जलाए जाने की वजह से दिल्ली का प्रदूषण लेवल जो है लगातार बढ़ता जा रहा है। लोगों को काफी दिक्कतों का सामना करना पड़ रहा है, लोग सांस तक ढंग से नहीं ले पा रहे हैं।
Now, even as the Punjab government refuses to acknowledge that Punjab is the major contributor of stubble burning instances, the ministers, the BJP leaders have been questioning and asking the AAP to take accountability for the rising stubble burning instances in Punjab. Listen into what Piyush Goyal had to say just a short while back.
केंद्र सरकार पूरी तरीके से सहयोग देती है, देती रही है। मेरे सहयोगी भूपेंद्र यादव जी ने, पर्यावरण मंत्री ने आप सबको बड़े डिटेल में बताया किस प्रकार से केंद्र सरकार की दी हुई सहायता को भी पंजाब और दिल्ली की सरकारों ने पूरी तरीके से इस्तेमाल नहीं किया। जो मशीनें भी खरीदी वो भी कोई अच्छी नहीं चली। एक प्रकार से सिर्फ स्लोगन और प्रचार प्रसार वाली सरकार पहले दिल्ली में थी, अब पंजाब में भी आ गई है। दोनों सरकारें पूरी तरीके से फेल्ड गवर्नमेंट्स हैं। दोनों सरकार जनता को जवाब नहीं दे पा रही है और हाल में तो जो पुराने वायदे दिए गए 2018 के दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री अरविंद केजरीवाल जी के स्टेटमेंट्स, 2019 के वायदे, लगातार एक के बाद एक उनके सब बताई हुई बातें झूठी साबित हो रही हैं। केजरीवाल को जनता को जवाब देना पड़ेगा, भगवंत मान को जनता को जवाब देना पड़ेगा। ये दोनों राज्यों में जो परिस्थिति बनी हुई है वो बड़ी गंभीर है और जनता बुरी तरीके से परेशान है, चाहे वो पंजाब की जनता हो, चाहे वो दिल्ली की जनता।
So as you heard, a lot of reactions as well coming in, talking about the measures that have been taken by the Delhi government so far. Latest what we understand is that the Delhi government has said that 50% of the Delhi government staff would be working from home, whereas private offices have also been advised to follow suit. In fact, this was stated by the Delhi Environment Minister Gopal Rai in his press briefing just a short while back. Not just this, Delhi government has also said that special task forces would be set up to curb the air pollution at hotspots in the national capital. Advisories have been issued, measures have been announced, but little seems to have been done on ground because people are facing issues. There are hospitalizations that are being reported, people facing respiratory issues as well. We'll try and play out that report as well that was filed by my colleague Piyush from the hotspot in Delhi, where one can see how the national capital continues to choke even as Netas continue to pass the buck. So that report that would show you, give you a bird's eye view of the pollution havoc in the national capital. Let's take a look. Alright, we try and play out that report in just a bit, but talking about the measures that have been announced by the Delhi government, the latest being that 50% of the Delhi government staff will have to work from home. Also important to note here that the Delhi LG has written to the Punjab Chief Minister to take cognizance of the situation in the state. Remember, the situation is very alarming in the state of Punjab. Piyush also joining us live. Piyush, if you can talk to us more about the problems people are facing in the national capital, because we understand there are hospitalizations being reported, people facing respiratory issues. What is it that you are learning from the ground as you track all the latest on Delhi pollution?
Well, Samiksha, we are already seeing as to how the people are suffering a lot in the national capital. Blame game continues. That's different aspect. But it is also important to tell to people about the kind of steps which they can take. Joining me right now is Dr. Nitin. He's Director Pediatrics of Rainbow Hospital in Delhi. Let me try to ask him from Dr. Verma, from Dr. Nitin Verma, and understand about the kind of cases which he is witnessing as far as the problems which people are facing because of air pollution is concerned. Thank you so much for talking to us, Doctor. You have more than 30 years of experience in pediatrics. You must be looking into the cases. How many cases you are witnessing nowadays, and what people can diagnose with because of this air pollution, if you specifically talk about the children?
So first of all, I want to say, yet again, year after year, we face this problem of pollution, and it hits us year after year. Again, this time it has come. You know that when we categorize air quality, up to 50 is good, 50 to 100 is satisfactory, and then up to 100 is still tolerable. After that, it becomes poor, very poor, and hazardous, and we are deeply into the hazardous zone. The impact is felt not only by children, but it also impacts pregnant women. So even before birth, the incidence of preterm deliveries and problems with deliveries happens due to pollution. In children, you get lots of respiratory ailments. So children coming in with cold, cough, fever, watery eyes, sneezing, not able to breathe. So we are getting a lot of cases who are coming in with respiratory ailments and eye ailments and skin ailments, and most of these are linked to pollution. So there's been a sharp increase in the number of cases that we are getting.
Sharp increase is there, and how many children are coming to you?
So I would say that almost 35 to 40% of cases, respiratory cases that are coming, are directly or indirectly linked to the pollution which is happening now.
So, sir, a senior colleague, Rhythm Anand Bhardwaj, also wants to talk to us. There are some questions which she wants to take. If you can take this and hear some questions from her. On left.
Yes, I can hear.
Yes, Dr. Verma, as we welcome you on the show today, the fact of the matter is it's an unfortunate scenario. We've spoken to you earlier about this 30 years experience. The last 5 years, Delhi is like a gas chamber. Of course, Piyush asked you about what is happening, but what are the do's and don'ts first that children and maybe adults also need to follow here when Delhi's AQI is hazardous?
So obviously what you need to do, Rhythm, is you need to protect yourself from the pollution. The only way to protect yourself from the pollution is to stay indoors, use air purifiers, and make sure that the quality of air is where around you, especially the children and the elderly, is much better. There are other things that we can do, and these things include being careful with things that you burn. So don't use agarbattis, don't use things which cause pollution. Avoid dry sweeping, try and do wet mopping. Try and sprinkle water outside on the plants so that the levels come down. Look at the AQI for going out, because the point is that you cannot go out and exercise, you cannot go out and play, you can't even walk because you may find that you're short of breath, you're not able to breathe, your eyes are watering. So children are actually going to be closeted inside the houses. I think what we need to do, at least for the small children, is to make sure that maybe we shut down schools for a period of time, because I think their health is more important than their going. And they're going to be more prone to falling ill. They're going to go to school carrying illness, and it's a small place, so disease tends to spread. So till the AQI improves, I think we should take everything that is within our means to stay in areas where the AQI levels are better.
Yes, Dr. Verma, I also want to ask you, you're one of Delhi's most popular doctors for children, a leading doctor, a pediatrician in the capital. We've seen several years this has been happening. Yet again, the Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi and Punjab is playing a political blame game. Is this the time, you think, for even political players to indulge in mudslinging, or is it time for action from the state and the central government?
So, rather well put, but the tragedy is every child is impacted. It doesn't matter whether the child's father is from AAP or BJP or Congress. It's time for us to all get together and solve this problem once and for all. We've been crying ourselves hoarse for the last many years. And that's how I started when your reporter asked me. I said, yet again, every year this happens. We learn nothing from it, and I wouldn't be surprised if we are having this interview around next year at this time. We should stop blaming each other.
એકવાર આપણે બધાએ ખૂબ ઉત્સાહથી જોરદાર તાળીઓ સાથે ઈશુદાનભાઈને અભિનંદન પાઠવીએ. જોરદાર તાળીઓથી ઈશુદાનભાઈને અભિનંદન પાઠવીએ. ભાઈ શ્રી ઈશુદાનભાઈ ગઢવીને ગુજરાતના મુખ્યમંત્રી તરીકે ઉમેદવાર તરીકે પસંદ થવા બદલ હું ખૂબ ખૂબ હૃદયના ભાવથી શુભકામનાઓ પાઠવું છું. અને અમારા ફરી એક વખત માનની નેતા શ્રી અરવિંદ કેજરીવાલજીનો આભાર માનું છું. ઈશુદાનભાઈ ને પહેલી વખત જ્યારે હું મળ્યો VTVના સ્ટુડિયોમાં, અને એક પોતાની સરસ મજાનું જીવન જીવી રહ્યા હતા. નોકરી સારી, કામ સારું, ગુજરાત આખામાં એમનું નામ બોલાય, લોકો ખૂબ એમને પ્રેમ કરે, રાતે 8 સાડા 8 થાય અને પ્રાઇમ ટાઈમનો શો ચાલુ થાય એટલે લગભગ હજારો લાખો માણસો ઈશુદાનભાઈને જોવા અને સાંભળવા માટે ટીવીની સામે બેસી જાય. અને આપણે બધાએ એ દ્રશ્યો જોયા છે. પહેલી વખત જ્યારે અમારે મળવાનું થયું અને મેં વિનંતી કરી ઈશુદાનભાઈને કે બેસીને તમે જે અવાજ ઉઠાવો છો એ વ્યાજબી છે, પણ હવે સરકારના કાન બેરા થઈ ગયા છે, હવે વધુ અવાજથી વધુ પાવરફુલ રીતે બોલવાની જરૂર છે. અને એના માટે નોકરી છોડીને આ જે સારી જીવન છે છોડીને સંઘર્ષના રસ્તા ઉપર આવવું જોઈએ. ઈશુદાનભાઈએ બહુ લાંબો વિચાર ન કર્યો, પણ એમણે એટલું જાણવાની કોશિશ કરી કે રાજનીતિમાં આવશું તો શું થશે અને અહીંયા રહેશું તો શું થશે. એ સવાલનો જવાબ જાણવા માટે હું અને ઈશુદાનભાઈ બંને પહેલી વખત દિલ્હી ગયા અને દિલ્હીની સરકારી સ્કૂલો જોઈ, ઈશુદાનભાઈની સાથે દિલ્હીની મહોલ્લા ક્લિનિકો જોયા, બીજી સરકારી વ્યવસ્થા જોઈ અને ત્યાંથી ઈશુદાનભાઈએ મન બનાવી લીધું કે આવું તો આપણા ગુજરાતમાં થવું જોઈએ ને આવું થાય એના માટે જે કરવું પડે કરવા માટે હવે હું તૈયાર છું. મને યાદ છે. અને પછી સ્કૂલો અને મહોલ્લા ક્લિનિક જોઈ હું અને ઈશુભાઈ અરવિંદજીના ઘરે ગયેલા દિલ્હીમાં.
I remember me and Ishudan had gone to Delhi, seen the Mohalla
દિલ્હીમાં જો બની શકે તો ગુજરાતમાં બની શકે, માટે હવે તમે મને આદેશ કરો કે શું કરવાનું છે. અને ત્યાંથી ઈશુદાનભાઈનું આમ આદમી પાર્ટીમાં જોડાવાનું નક્કી થયું અને ક્રાંતિકારી દિવસ નક્કી થયો. ઈશુદાનભાઈ આપણે પરિવારની અંદર સામેલ થયા અને જે કઈ ઘટનાક્રમ બન્યો એ આપણી નજર સામે છે. ઈશુદાનભાઈએ બહુ મોટો ત્યાગ કર્યો જીવનમાં. આજકાલ એક સામાન્ય પટાવાળાની નોકરી પણ કોઈ છોડવા તૈયાર નથી. જમાનો મોંઘવારીનો છે, જમાનો એક સિક્યોર લાઈફ જીવવાનો છે કે ભાઈ આજીવન તમને એક સારો પગાર મળ્યા કરે તો બને ત્યાં સુધી કોઈ ઝંઝટમાં ન પડવું, એવી એક પ્રથા છે. ઈશુદાનભાઈએ પોતાની સારામાં સારી જિંદગી છોડીને આમ આદમી પાર્ટી સાથે જોડાઈને એક મહાન ત્યાગ કર્યો છે અને લોકો માટે લડવા માટે પોતે ઉતર્યા છે. જે ત્યાગ કરે અને એવું નથી કે નોકરી છોડીને પાર્ટીમાં આવ્યા, એ પછી મેં જોયું છે કે અમારા બધા કરતા આખી આમ આદમી પાર્ટીમાં જે કાંઈ પ્રદેશની ટીમ છે એના સૌથી વધુ ઈશુદાનભાઈ દોડ્યા છે, સૌથી વધુ મહેનત એમણે કરી છે. હજારો ગામડાઓ સુધી, હજારો લોકો સુધી ઘણીવાર હું મૂડમાં આવી જાઉં કે ભાઈ ઈશુભાઈ તમે જોઈ લો, તમે જઈ આવો, તમે સભા કરો, હું થાકી ગયો છું, આજે મારો મૂડ નથી. આ છેલ્લા 1.5 વર્ષથી ઈશુદાનભાઈની સાથે રહીને મેં ક્યારેય એવું એમની પાસેથી જોયું નથી, સાંભળ્યું નથી કે એમનો મૂડ ખરાબ છે કે આજે હું નહીં જાઉં, આજે નથી કરવું. જેટલી સભા, જેટલી રેલી, જેટલા કાર્યક્રમો કરવાના થયા હોય, ઈશુદાનભાઈ હંમેશા તૈયાર હોય. એટલે ત્યાગ કરીને આમ આદમી પાર્ટીમાં આવ્યા પછી એમણે મહેનત કરી છે, ખૂબ સંઘર્ષ કર્યો છે. જેલની અંદર જ્યારે અમે ગયેલા સાબરમતીમાં અમે બધા, તો સૌથી વધુ પ્રેરણા અને પ્રોત્સાહન ઈશુદાનભાઈ આપેલું એમના જીવનની અંદર પત્રકારિત્વમાં અને એમના વાંચનથી. એમની પાસે જે જે અનુભવ હતો, જે જ્ઞાન હતું, એ 15 દિવસ સુધી ઈશુભાઈ પાસેથી અમને જાણવાનો ઐતિહાસિક મોકો અમને બધાને જેલમાં મળ્યો. એમના અનુભવો, વાંચન, મીડિયાના માધ્યમથી જે કાંઈ એમના જીવનમાં ઘટનાક્રમ હતો અમને જાણવા મળ્યો. આજે મને ખુશી થાય છે. ગુજરાતની જનતાએ તો ઈશુદાનભાઈને ટીવીમાં કે સ્ટેજ ઉપર જોયા હશે, એમની વાતને, એમના વિચારોને દૂરથી જોઈ સાંભળીને એમનાથી પ્રભાવિત હશે. હું એકમાત્ર એવો માણસ છું જે ઈશુદાનભાઈની સૌથી વધુ નજીક રહું છું. એ વાતની મને ખુશી છે કે ઈશુદાનભાઈ જેવા સજ્જન વ્યક્તિને આવડો મોટો મોકો મળી રહ્યો છે, આવડો મોટો પ્લેટફોર્મ મળી રહ્યો છે. ગુજરાતના બહુ મોટા ભાગ્ય છે કે આવા સારા માણસ મળી રહ્યા છે, નિખાલસ માણસ. એવું નથી કે આજે આ ઈશુદાનભાઈને જનતાએ પસંદ કર્યા છે એટલે વખાણ કરવાનો મોકો છે. આજે મારા દિલની વેદના, મારા દિલની જે લાગણી છે કે ઈશુદાનભાઈ જે રીતે ગુજરાતની અંદર સંઘર્ષ કરી રહ્યા છે, જનતા માટે લડી રહ્યા છે, જનતા માટે અવાજ ઉઠાવી રહ્યા છે, આજે જનતાએ એમને ખૂબ પસંદ કરી ગુજરાતનું નેતૃત્વ કરવાની તક આપી છે. આવા સમયે હું માનનીય શ્રી ઈશુદાનભાઈના મધર, એમના બા જે આવ્યા છે, એમને હું વિનંતી કરીશ કે તેઓ અહીંયા સ્ટેજ ઉપર આવે અને આ ખુશીના પ્રસંગે, આ ઐતિહાસિક પ્રસંગે પોતાની 2 વાત કરે. ઈશુદાનભાઈના બા મંચ ઉપર પધારી રહ્યા છે, આપણે એમનું સ્વાગત કરીએ જોરદાર તાળીઓથી.
जय माँ मोगल जय द्वारकाधीश आज जे अवसर बनी रह्यो छे ए अवसर में माताजी एने जाजू साथ आपे अने आपणी गुजरातनी प्रजा बधी साथ आपे तो माँ मोगलनी कृपा थी द्वारकाधीशनी कृपा थी अने अरविंद जी वित्तमान जी गोपाल जी बधा सर्वे भाईओ बहनों बधा एने आशीर्वाद आपजो आ ईसुदान भाई नो काम एने सफलता होवो जोईए भारत आपणो देश छे जय माँ मोगल
All right, viewers. So, the Aam Aadmi Party has now announced the name of the party's chief ministerial candidate for the next month's Gujarat Assembly elections, and it is Isudan Gadvi. Isudan Gadvi, who is the Aam Aadmi Party chief ministerial candidate. So, this is what's happening on the stage right now. Now, Isudan Gadvi is earlier. Before being announced as the candidate, he was the current earlier National Joint Secretary of Aam Aadmi Party. He was one of the top contenders for the job as the Gujarat CM candidate.
પહેલાં તો હું મંચ ઉપર બેઠેલા બધા મહાનુભાવોને અરવિંદ કેજરીવાલજી જ્યારે ઈશુદાન ગઢવીજીને આટલી મોટી તક આપી છે ગુજરાતવાસીઓએ એ હું બધાને તહે દિલથી આભાર માનું છું અને મા મોગલ અને દ્વારકાધીશ એમને આ સપનું પૂરું કરવામાં माँ मोगल ने आशीर्वाद आपे जय मोगल
and my blessings are with him to fulfill all his dreams in this.
હવે હું ઈશુદાનભાઈ જીવનમાં કયા કયા સંઘર્ષને પાર કરીને જીવનના કેટલા ચડાવ ઉતારને જોઈને અહીંયા સુધી પહોંચ્યા છે એ એમના સમગ્ર જીવન વિશે એક વિડીયો પાર્ટી તરફથી રજૂ કરવામાં આવે એવી હું વિનંતી કરું છું.
અમને નાખો જિંદગીની આગમાં આગને પણ ફેરવીશું બાગમાં સર કરીશું આખરે સૌ મોરચા મોતને પણ આવવા દો લાગમાં શેખાદમ.
All right, viewers. So that's a big announcement coming in. Isudan Gadvi has been picked as the chief ministerial candidate there in Gujarat. Now, Isudan Gadvi was the joint general secretary of Aam Aadmi Party. He was a top contender for the job in the race to become the Aam Aadmi Party's chief ministerial candidate. And before he joined the Aam Aadmi Party, he was a former TV journalist, a former journalist and news anchor, and right now he has been named as the Aam Aadmi Party chief ministerial candidate for the Gujarat elections. All right, viewers, the war of words now has erupted as the Delhi is approaching winters. And every winter, we see the AQI level in Delhi fall further and further to dangerous levels. After Delhi, LG Saxena wrote a letter now to Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann over the rising cases of stubble burning and the subsequent pollution. Mann has now hit back, saying, and I quote here, LG Sahib, you are stopping the work of the elected government of Delhi. Stop the red light on car off campaign and are doing politics by writing to me. Politics is not right on such a serious subject. subject. So we are seeing a war of words play out right over there, and we also saw a couple of statements come out both from the Aam Aadmi Party and also from the BJP on the issue. Now, the Aam Aadmi Party is saying that we need some more time to tackle the issue of stubble burning. On the other hand, the BJP coming out, holding a press conference and saying that what is polluted is Aam Aadmi Party's integrity. That is what's polluted. This is a statement from BJP, and Maan has responded to the LG. Many reactions coming in at this point of time, and let's hear them out.
पराली को लेकर बार
आज से पराली की नहीं, आज देखो कितना बदल है।
सर देखिए कितना बड़ा मुद्दा है जो दिल्ली तक गया है। आपके सीएम जो है वो दिल्ली में पहुंचे हुए हैं।
ना एक मिनट में स्टॉल ओ शायद मेरी बात सुनो जब मैं पराली पे पीसी करूंगा तो फिर आ जाना ना। देखो कितना जबरदस्त काम नहीं सर छोड़ो यार छोड़ सब नहीं जब मैं ना ऐसा नहीं मैं करूँ नहीं आपने एयर क्वालिटी देखी पंजाब की देखी है फिर क्या बात करते हो। हरियाणा से अच्छी है, पंजाब दिल्ली से अच्छी, सभी से अच्छी है। एयर क्वालिटी नंबर 1 है। आप मत के बताओ कोई बात नहीं है।
मामला जो है सुप्रीम कोर्ट तक जा
सर तहसीलदार जो अंदर दिए हुए हैं सर, तहसीलदार धालीवाल सर
काम करना नहीं मैं रोज बोलता पर ऐसा नहीं बोलता।
भाई अब रहने दो यार, ये एग्जीबिशन का तुम यहाँ पे मुद्दा मत बनाओ यार, चलेगा प्लीज यार, प्लीज सर
2 मिनट तो दीजिए सर पराली का इतना बड़ा
एक मिनट यार, पराली कुछ नहीं की पंजाब से कोई मुद्दा नहीं आज
सर मैंने आपको बोल दिया मैं पीसी करूंगा, आपने आ जाना उधर। अब बताओ नहीं देखो बताऊंगा नहीं देखो
सर पराली को लेकर इतना बड़ा इशू
सर इशू क्या मैं प्रोग्राम किस में है? आप जबरदस्ती मेरे को बुला लेंगे तो फिर प्लीज मैं प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करूंगा, आपने उधर आ जाना मत करो।
तो आप ये देख रहे हैं कि एग्रीकल्चर मिनिस्टर हैं कुलदीप सिंह धालीवाल जो जिनको कन्फ्रंट करने की कोशिश की जा रही है, लेकिन वो इस मुद्दे पर बोलने को तैयार नहीं है। उनका कहना है कि जब मैं प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करूंगा तो प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में बात की जाएगी।
सर लगातार पंजाब में पराली जलाई जा रही है, लगातार पंजाब में पराली जलाई जा रही है, दिल्ली में पोल्यूशन हो रहा है। सर आप जवाब तो दीजिए सर। आपकी सरकार ने कहा था कि आप काम करेंगे, सर, लेकिन कुछ हुआ नहीं है। भगवंत मान जी इस तरह से कब तक होगा सर? तो आप देख सकते हैं किस तरह से पंजाब के मुख्यमंत्री भगवंत मान जो अभी कपूरथला हाउस से निकले, हमने उनसे पूछा कि लगातार दिल्ली में प्रदूषण हो रहा है, कौन जिम्मेदार है उसका? क्योंकि इनकी सरकार ने कहा था, आम आदमी पार्टी की सरकार ने कहा था कि जब उनकी सरकार बनेगी तो सरकार काम करेगी, आम आदमी पार्टी काम करेगी और दिल्ली में प्रदूषण नहीं होगा। लेकिन लगातार पराली जलाए जाने की वजह से दिल्ली का प्रदूषण लेवल जो है लगातार बढ़ता जा रहा है। लोगों को काफी दिक्कतों का सामना करना पड़ रहा है, लोग सांस तक ढंग से नहीं ले पा रहे हैं।
All right, viewers, so multiple reactions coming in. You just saw my colleague Piyush Mishra there. He confronted the Punjab CM and he was asking him questions, but the Punjab CM did not respond to Republic TV. Many reactions coming in. Let's have a listen into what Piyush Goyal also has said on this issue.
और पूरी तरीके से सहयोग देती रही है। मेरे सहयोगी भूपेंद्र यादव जी ने, पर्यावरण मंत्री ने आप सबको बड़े डिटेल में बताया किस प्रकार से केंद्र सरकार की दी हुई सहायता को भी पंजाब और दिल्ली की सरकारों ने पूरी तरीके से इस्तेमाल नहीं किया। जो मशीनें भी खरीदी वो भी कोई अच्छी नहीं चली। एक प्रकार से सिर्फ स्लोगन और प्रचार प्रसार वाली सरकार पहले दिल्ली में थी, अब पंजाब में भी आ गई है। दोनों सरकारें पूरी तरीके से फेल्ड गवर्नमेंट्स हैं। दोनों सरकार जनता को जवाब नहीं दे पा रही है और हाल में तो जो पुराने वायदे दिए गए 2018 के दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री अरविंद केजरीवाल जी के स्टेटमेंट्स, 2019 के वायदे, लगातार एक के बाद एक उनके सब बताई हुई बातें झूठी साबित हो रही हैं। केजरीवाल को जनता को जवाब देना पड़ेगा, भगवंत मान को जनता को जवाब देना पड़ेगा। ये दोनों राज्यों में जो परिस्थिति बनी हुई है वो बड़ी गंभीर है और जनता बुरी तरीके से परेशान है, चाहे वो पंजाब की जनता हो, चाहे वो दिल्ली की जनता।
So viewers, all those reactions, you're just watching them on your screens. The national capital is choking with a rise in air pollution levels. And this will only get worse as December comes and January comes. Many reactions have come in, but Republic TV's reporters are on ground to assess the situation. Let's have a listen in to this report by Piyush Ore.
First impacts of this deadly air pollution is being faced by children aged from 8 to 15 years of age. Taking consideration of the worsening air quality, Noida district in Uttar Pradesh has already ensured that from classes 3 to 10th, the classes are not going to be organized and it's going to only held through online medium. However, in Delhi and in Gurugram, as of now, this rule has not been implemented. I'm right now reporting from outside government school which is being managed by NDMC, where since this rule is not being followed in principle as of now, you can see that students, young as well as teenagers, are coming to the school and attending in this air quality which is deadly, which is dangerous. Not only children but even the adults like us are facing the consequences of it. In this situation, it is now going to be very important to say that are schools to be held, or can there be a proper medium where the health of these children be taken care of? Reporting for Republic TV with Vijay Mahendra, this is Piyush Ore.
All right, viewers. So, my colleague Anuj has also spoken to Shahzad Poonawala of the BJP. Now, Shahzad Poonawala is saying that this is about people's lives and not about politics. Let's listen in to that conversation.
Pollution is not a political issue. BJP, Congress, Aam Aadmi Party, everyone breathes the same air. Pollution is a people's issue. And therefore, I request with folded hands, Mr. Kejriwal, mat karo bachchon ki zindagi ke saath khilwad. बंद करो स्कूल को मिस्टर केजरीवाल. यू शुड हैव डन दिस लॉन्ग बैक. 700 पार था कल AQI. ये देखिए, मैंने लाइव रियल टाइम रिपोर्ट निकाली है. कल रात को 10 बजे इट वाज ओवर 700. दिस मॉर्निंग इन मेनी पार्ट्स ऑफ दिल्ली इंक्लूडिंग जहांगीरपुरी द AQI is above 600. And when it is such a health emergency, it's a red level crisis. We are a gas chamber. Mr. Kejriwal, the part-time CM, is in Gujarat. He takes no action on what is happening in Punjab, the Parali burning which is going out of hand. And what has he done for the pollution in Delhi? The least he can do is not risk the lives of our children. Today we are not speaking as politicians. We are speaking as members of the public. The parents have demanded this. I have seen your channels. Leading experts have demanded this. The NCPCR has demanded this. And Bagal mein Noida hai. Noida has shut its schools from 1st to 8th and gone online. What stops Mr. Kejriwal, despite the CAQM, implementing GRAP 4? That is the question.
But on the other hand, this is Aam Aadmi Party who is targeting centres, saying that the fund has been not provided to the farmers. On the other hand, sometimes it is being related to the Gujarat election whenever it is BJP who is targeting Aam Aadmi Party. How did you see that?
Mr. Kejriwal, just a year ago when he did not have a government in Punjab, said Punjab was solely responsible, the Parali in Punjab was solely responsible for the pollution in Delhi. These are his words, not ours. We don't believe the Kisans are to blame for this. But when he said that this is the main problem, today how come it becomes the centre's issue? How come it becomes XYZ issue? Today it should be that you have a government in Punjab. What have you done to control the stubble burning in Punjab?
All right, viewers, you heard those reactions coming in, and the Aam Aadmi Party minister is calling it a non-issue right now. There was a confrontation with the Aam Aadmi Party minister where he's calling it a non-issue. On the other hand, BJP is saying that this is not about politics, it's about people's life, it's about people's health as well in the national capital, especially of those, young children, school-going children, because air pollution is extremely harmful when it comes to their health. And the air quality index in Delhi has been falling very, very low. In fact, it goes to dangerous levels, which is in fact something that even global health bodies like WHO have warned that such bad AQI levels is not good for the people of that area. All right, viewers, we continue to be live. We're breaking on Republic TV. Much more coming up on the other side. Republic's unrelenting coverage has now led to big action on Morbi tragedy. Chief officer suspended. Complete chaos ensues in Pakistan after assassination attempt. Imran Khan calls for mega showdown. Stay tuned.
QSMTHE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
And high-octane drama that was seen as Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's rally happened in Himachal's Solan, where protesters gathered at a roadshow of the AAP convener, leading the police to lathi charge and disperse them. Some protesters were further taken into preventive custody. A case has also been registered at a school in Guna in Madhya Pradesh over school authorities allegedly punishing a student for shouting Bharat Mata Ki Jai. The complaint has also been raised by student's father, who was made to sit on the ground for 2 subject periods for raising the slogan. A major infiltration attempt was foiled by the Indian Army in Poonch of J&K after soldiers posted in the region observed movement from across the line of control. One terrorist was shot at with weapons and ammunition was recovered from the site of the incident after the operations. Chairman of the UP Madrasa Education Board, while speaking on the Madrasa report to be submitted on 15th of November, stated that all the fieldwork had been completed in connection with the survey and that there were at least 16,500 legal madrasas in UP. Karnataka BJP leader Renukacharya's nephew was found dead in a car that fell into a canal after he was missing since Sunday. The nephew's body was found near a canal near the Honali taluk of Devanagari in Karnataka. And a quick roundup of all that's making news from across the country and the globe. Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan has alleged that the current Prime Minister, Interior Minister as well as an Army General were responsible for what has been referred to as a failed assassination bid on Imran Khan.
Viewers, some breaking updates coming in. Indian Army yesterday has foiled infiltration attempt in a sector of Poonch there. Now Republic has accessed the picture proof of Pakistan exporting terror. In the exclusively accessed pictures, it is seen that 2 dead bodies of terrorists killed being taken by locals along line of control. That's the picture proof. You can see that on your screens as well. It's a picture proof of Pakistan exporting terror. Republic's super exclusive pictures from the LOC, and in the pictures you can see how the bodies of terrorists are being taken away. These are exclusive pictures, and in fact it's a super exclusive of Republic TV from LOC, and you can watch how the forced eliminated Pakistan terror. This is the visual on your screen right now. The Indian Army has foiled, I repeat, the Indian Army has acted fast and they have foiled infiltration attempt in Poonch, and Republic has accessed the picture proof of Pakistan exporting terror. Now in these visuals which you're seeing on your screen, which is only exclusive on Republic TV, it's seen that 2 dead bodies of terrorists killed being taken by locals along the line of control. This is a picture proof of Pakistan exporting terror on your screen right now. Those visuals accessed exclusively by Republic TV. One more picture on your screen. There are 2 pictures right now on your left-hand side and on the right-hand side. Now, these are exclusive pictures. Remember that the Indian Army had foiled infiltration attempt in Poonch. 3 terrorists were neutralized, and a huge cache of arms and ammunition were also recovered in this operation. And on your screens, you can see 2 dead bodies of terrorists killed being taken by locals along the line of control. Now, this is a proof of Pakistan exporting terror. This is proof also of how Pakistan is trying to sponsor terror. Pakistan-sponsored terror in India and trying to vitiate the atmosphere of safety in the valley and also in India. Visuals on your screen right now of the recovery of weapons also have been made, viewers. This was a very, very big infiltration attempt by Pakistan, but our army acting fast and being prompt, it has led to that entire infiltration attempt being foiled. All right, Gursim is joining me on the phone line. Gursimran, viewers are watching two pictures, picture 1 and picture 2, exclusive pictures. Take us through what exactly is happening there on the screens.
See, this was an infiltration attempt that was foiled by the Indian Army yesterday. It was in the Digwar sector of the Poonch district, in which 3 terrorists were killed. And one of the 3 terrorists, they managed to escape. 2 of the 3 of the total group managed to escape back. And the 2 dead bodies of the terrorists, 3 were killed, 1 was recovered by the Indian Army. And these 2 pictures show that 2 terrorists, those who were killed by the Indian Army, they were being taken back by the POJK people. So this clearly shows that the Pakistan trying to hide the bodies. They were dragged in by those other 2 associates of these terrorists to the POJK land. And now these pictures accessed by Republic TV clearly showing the terrorist bodies being taken back to the Pakistani side. This was one of the major infiltration attempts that was foiled by the Indian Army, and now the searches are on in the area. The Indian Army has recovered 2 AK-74 rifles along with the Chinese pistol and other arms and ammunition from these terrorists, those who were trying to sneak into the Indian territory ahead of the onset of snowfall.
Right. And we are seeing this happen as Pakistan is trying to divert attention from its internal situation. We saw what happened there at Imran Khan's rally as well. And on the other hand, is trying to incite violence, especially in the Poonch area and the Rajouri area.
Yes, Shivani, there is no doubt to it that the Pakistan is now into the divergent tactics, that how can they divert the international community's attention from the internal situation of Pakistan that is totally in shambles, and also the economic situation of the Pakistan. So for the same, they are pushing the terrorists into the Indian territory so that they can carry out a major terror strike in the regions, in the Poonch and Rajouri, and they can show the international community that, see, in Jammu and Kashmir, things are not well.
Right. And these are super exclusive pictures from LOC on Republic. And Gursimran, if you could also take us through exactly how many attempts have been made this year alone. We are seeing Pakistan trying to sponsor terror, Pakistan-sponsored terror. We are seeing how some drones are also being sent across the border. Drones being sent across the border, Gursimran.
See, over 100 attempts of the drone dropping have been done on the international border, as well as line of control in Jammu and Kashmir, as well as in Punjab. And when it comes to the infiltration attempts, the number of attempts is near about a dozen attempts, be it in Kashmir Valley or in Jammu region. Dozen attempts have been made by the Pakistani side. Some of them have been successful, but the terrorists who have entered the hinterland have also been neutralized by the Jammu and Kashmir police. And many attempts, including the recent one in Kupwara and this one in the Poonch district, they have been destroyed and decimated by the Indian Army.
Right. Right. All right, Major General SP Sinha is joining us on the phone line. Thank you for joining us, Major General. Picture proof of Pakistan-sponsored terror. Picture proof of how Pakistan is exporting terror. Major General, what is your reaction coming in? Of course, our forces have have acted very, very fast and promptly in this situation.
You see, there is no doubt that this is additional proof against Pakistan that Pakistan has been exporting terror to Jammu and Kashmir and to the rest of India. But it is a well-known fact that right from 47, Pakistan has been creating problems for us. And Pakistan has been exporting terror to Jammu and Kashmir. Pakistan is epicenter of terrorism. ISI coordinates its terror activities, and ISI is in touch with all terrorist organizations in the world. ISI provides safe haven. It provided safe haven to Osama bin Laden. It provided Al-Jawari. So it provides safe haven to your Lashkar chief and HM chief and Jasim Muhammad chief. So it is not a new thing. But what we need to do is that identify. Need to do is that identify terror structure and get rid of this terror structure which is existing in Jammu and Kashmir. Who are those people who give support to these terrorists, provide shelter, give ammunition, give food? These people need to be
absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Major General SP Sinha, for joining us here, defense expert, for joining us here on this story that we're tracking right now. But the Indian Army has foiled infiltration attempt in the Pooch area. What you see on your screens, viewers, is exclusive visuals only on Republic TV. You see, Republic has accessed the picture proof of Pakistan exporting terror. In these exclusive visuals, we can see 2 dead bodies of terrorists killed being taken by locals along the LOC. All right, it's time for a short break. Much more coming up on the other side. We continue to be live and breaking here. Now, no end to the stubble burning issue. Delhi AQI is dipping further and further, while citizens continue to choke. Plus, the race for Gujarat intensifies. Aam Aadmi Party announcement on chief ministerial phase today. That has been announced already. Ishudan Gadvi is the chief ministerial phase of Aam Aadmi Party in Gujarat.
QS and THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
A major infiltration attempt was foiled by the Indian Army in Pooch of JNK after soldiers posted in the region observed movement from across the line of control. One terrorist was shot at with weapons and ammunition was recovered from the site of the incident after the operations. Chairman of the UP Madrasa Education Board, while speaking on the Madrasa report to be submitted on 15th of November, stated that all the fieldwork had been completed in connection with the survey and that there were at least 16,500 legal madrasas in UP. Karnataka BJP leader Renukacharya's nephew was found dead in a car that fell into a canal after he was missing since Sunday. The nephew's body was found near a canal near the Honali taluk of Devanagari in Karnataka. And a quick roundup of all that's making news from across the country.
11 casualties were reported after bus collided with an SUV near Jhallar in Madhya Pradesh.
कलमता गांव है अमरावती से, वहाँ कुछ मजदूर जो है झल्लार क्षेत्र के मजदूरी के लिए गए हुए थे, जो 20 दिन से गए हुए थे। कल रात में वो तकरीबन 9 बजे वहाँ से निकले हैं और ये एक्सीडेंट हुआ है 2-2:15 बजे के करीब। ड्राइवर हमारे पास है, उसके जो कथन हुए हैं उसके अनुरूप उसको थोड़ी नींद आ गई, वो बस में जाके एकदम डैश हो गई गाड़ी। तो इसके कारण जो है टवेरा में 11 लोग थे और उन सभी के साथ हादसा हुआ है।
मैडम, इसमें जो मृतक लोग हैं उनको कुछ सहायता राशि भी दी जाएगी?
हाँ, जो विधिवत है वो सारी हम लोग प्रक्रिया पूर्ण करके जल्द से जल्द इनको सभी प्रकार की सहायता राशि देंगे।
The Prime Minister expressed his condolences following the collision, further announcing a 2 lakh rupee compensation to the next of kin, while 50,000 rupees announced to the injured. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
पूरे भारत के अंदर नहीं, पूरी दुनिया के अंदर हमारी संस्कृति का प्रचार और प्रसार कर रहे हैं। वहीं दूसरी ओर
And a quick roundup of all that's making news from across the country and the globe. Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan has alleged that the current Prime Minister, Interior Minister as well as an Army General were responsible for what has been referred to as a failed assassination bid on Imran Khan. Protests broke out in Pakistan's city of Karachi following the alleged assassination attempt on the PTI leader and former Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan that further led to the death of one of his supporters. TMC and the BJP clashed in front of the Central Minister of State Nitish Pramanik's convoy near Setai in West in the Cooch Behar district in West Bengal. And high-octane drama that was seen as Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's rally happened In Himachal's Solan, where protesters gathered at a roadshow of the AAP convener, leading the police to lathi charge and disperse them. Some protesters were further taken into preventive custody. A case has also been registered at a school in Guna in Madhya Pradesh over school authorities allegedly punishing a student for shouting Bharat Mata Ki Jai. The complaint has also been raised by student's father, who was made to sit on the ground for 2 subject periods for raising the slogan. A major infiltration attempt was foiled by the Indian Army in Poonch of JNK after soldiers posted in the region observed movement from across the line of control. One terrorist was shot at with weapons and ammunition was recovered from the site of the incident after the operations. Chairman of the UP Madrasa Education Board, while speaking on the Madrasa report to be submitted on 15th of November, stated that all the fieldwork had been completed in connection with the survey and that there were at least 16,500 legal madrasas in UP. Karnataka
on his container, make sure that the entire Pakistani public and Pakistanis overseas target the Election Commission of Pakistan. It is Imran Khan who's causing political uncertainty in Pakistan. It is Imran Khan who's causing Pakistan to implode. This recent march, this recent long march that Imran Khan calls it, is going to enter Islamabad in the next 1 week. And when it does, it will cause chaos. This is exactly what Imran Khan wants.
Yet another cowardly attack in Jammu and Kashmir. 2 non-local labourers shot at in Anantnag.
BJP MLA MP Renukacharya's nephew has been found dead in a car that fell into a canal.
The former Congress Tumkuru MP has now been inducted into the BJP.
Good afternoon, and as we continue to stay with our top coverage on Delhi air emergency with the AQI reaching the hazardous level, we're now joined by prominent citizens from across the capital, seeing the kind of uproar and the kind of pathos that has now been seen by children as well as adults. I welcome on the show today, as a prominent citizen, former Additional Solicitor General of India, Senior Advocate in the Supreme Court, Mr. Siddharth Luthra. Mr. Luthra, today I ask you questions also, sir, in your capacity as someone who's a citizen of Delhi. Delhi is choking. It's poisonous. The governments are playing the blame game. As a citizen of India, first, please tell us your grievance, and then this interactive show continues when we ask the governments for accountability.
I'm actually shocked at what has happened this year. We had unusual rainfall in the previous month, and therefore one had hoped that things would not be so bad. We can't have a situation where governments of the day, whether state or center or union territory, allow this to happen to citizens. Clean air, clean water is our right under the Constitution. It's a right to life. But when you step out today, I stepped out last night, late evening, tried to take an evening walk, and I was coughing and choking. Now, this is for those of us who are still fortunate enough not to have chest diseases or lung or pulmonary diseases. What about those who are elderly or young children? What are we doing to ourselves? And there's a serious concern. I think we can't have a situation where governments, knowing that this is going to happen year after year, throw up their hands and start playing the blame game. It is time for accountability. This is criminal culpability, no less. It is not just about Article 21. It's not just a public law issue. It's a clear case where our lives are being played with. And therefore, I would feel that with an air quality index hovering in the 400s, it's time for governments to act. Why can't the state governments concerned step in and ensure that burning has to stop? Why can't the state governments create a mechanism that they have alternatives to burning? Why can't the governments create a subsidy system where the parali is picked up so that it can be picked up by the government and disposed of in a safe manner? It's time for this to change. We cannot go on year after year like this. Delhi and the NCR also is becoming unlivable. Is this what we are doing to our citizens? I'm, as a citizen, as a lawyer, as a person who's been born and brought up in this city, I'm completely anguished by what is happening.
And Mr. Luthra, you spoke right from the heart. You spoke about how Delhi needs to breathe. We've also seen earlier, sir, this kind of blame game happen. Today, you're giving out initiatives that can be taken by both the Delhi and the central government. You also spoke about criminal culpability. Who is it that the citizens can hold accountable for the fact that they don't have fresh air to breathe year after year?
So I would put it this way. Those who burn and those who allow the burning of parali, of the stubble, and allow it unabated are culpable. And therefore, we have to look beyond Delhi as well. In the states where there is going to be burning, it is for the government of the states to clamp down on this burning, because this is not happening in Delhi. This is happening outside Delhi. And let me tell you, things are bad in Delhi, but Punjab, Haryana, parts of Uttar Pradesh are as bad. Is this what we are doing? And last year, I recall some guests had come from overseas and they were spending time in Punjab, and they said even the food tastes burnt. That is what we've done. It is time for the governments of the day to clamp down on this, to take recourse to the powers both under the CRPC and under the Environmental Protection Act, and to stop this. There are ample powers with the administration. It's a failure to exercise power for extraneous reasons. Delhi is only a recipient of all of this, and Delhi will continue to receive this.
What could be the extraneous?
Well, in Delhi, sorry.
Yes.
Please come again. I didn't hear your question.
Mr. Luthra, I was asking, you said there are extraneous circumstances. What do you think these circumstances are?
The circumstances are that the farmers who burn this out of compulsion are a crucial vote bank. And these farmers are required by every government, and they want to keep them within their control. The governments don't want to spend the money to stop this. The governments don't want to subsidize the removal of parali or stubble. The governments don't want to subsidize the safe removal of stubble. And therefore, the easiest thing is to let things remain as they were. People will scream. Some people will unfortunately fall ill. Some may even die. But then we leave it for another day, because by January end, we move on to another day. By February, March, by March, as things get warmer, this issue reduces. The other issue is, what about the unabated open sites of construction? NCR has been for long an open place for construction of all kinds. You're relying open sites all over the world. You go to any Western country, you will find within their cities, when they break a building, they cover it up completely. They make sure that there is no access to that building and dust is contained. They take mechanisms. Here, all our digging, all our construction is open sites. And what do? We start banning a few vehicles. What do? We start saying we will limit the pliance of vehicles. But that is because that's populist. What you're not looking at is the chronic issue, which is unabated construction, and not just legal construction. It's the illegal construction that happens, and that happens with the authorities choosing to turn a blind eye to it, because there are other considerations there. So these are the issues we need to look at. We have to ensure clean. We tried gas. We brought in clean fuel. We are bringing in electrical cars. Why can't we speed up the electrical cars? That's for the center to take initiatives. In England, they're trying to bring in electrical cars. They're setting up stations. We hardly have stations. It's time for us to change. Citizens would be happy to change. Why can't we reduce the import duties on electrical cars or make them easily available? Why is it that an electric vehicle is so expensive or a hybrid vehicle is very expensive? So all these issues have to be seen. It is a citizens' issue, and the administration at the state, UT, center have to act in the interest of citizens and not just blame each other for the purpose of electoral politics.
Mr. Luthra, we've spoken to you several times earlier, but today the anguish with which you are speaking and you're voicing the concerns of the citizen comes out. It is time that this uproar reaches the ears of the governments, and it's finally time to take all the efforts, all the initiatives you've said to take into consideration, whether it's on construction, stubble burning, or the neighboring states to Delhi that need to take action. I thank you for being a prominent citizen on our special show today.
Thank you. I'm really grateful for this opportunity. I think citizens will have to speak up. Otherwise, we are not leaving a good future for our children and for our families. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Law will take its own course. जिस नाते से उनके खिलाफ अपराध की धाराएं चली, कोर्ट ने अपना संज्ञान लिया, सीबीआई ने संज्ञान लिया, उनको सज़ा हो गई। सज़ा के बाद उनको पेश करना है सरकार को, सरकार ने पेश कर दिया। जेल चले गए, जेल में अपनी सज़ा काट रहे हैं। सज़ा काटने के बाद वहाँ के जेल के मैनुअल क्या होते हैं, कैसे होते हैं, किसको पैरोल देना, किसको नहीं देना। पैरोल देने के समय भी एजेंसी से भी पूछा जाता है, एजेंसी अपनी रिपोर्ट देती हैं। तो एज़ पर जिसको कहना चाहिए एक रूटीन से जो चीज़ें होती हैं उसमें सरकार को कुछ बोलना नहीं होता। फिर भी किसी को किसी प्रकार का कोई एतराज़ हो, जैसा आपने बताया कोर्ट में भी चले गए, जाना चाहिए, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, कोर्ट में जाए, कोर्ट फैसला करेगा गलत कहाँ है ठीक कहाँ है।
इस तरह से पराली को लेकर बार
आज से पराली की आज देखो कितना बदल।
सर देखिए कितना बड़ा मुद्दा है जो दिल्ली तक गया है। आपके सीएम जो है वो दिल्ली में पहुंचे हुए हैं।
ना एक मिनट में स्टॉल। ओ सर मेरी बात सुनो, जब मैं पराली पे पीसी करूंगा तो फिर आ जाना ना। देखो कितना जबरदस्त काम। नहीं सर छोड़ो यार, छोड़ सब नहीं जब मैं ना ऐसा नहीं मैं करूँ। नहीं
इतना बड़ा इशू
नहीं आपने एयर क्वालिटी देखी पंजाब की? देखी है? फिर क्या बात करते हो? हरियाणा से अच्छी है, पंजाब दिल्ली से अच्छी, सभी से अच्छी है। एयर क्वालिटी नंबर 1 है। आप मत घबराओ, कोई बात नहीं है।
मामला जो है सुप्रीम कोर्ट तक जा रहा है।
तहसीलदार जो अंदर दिए हुए हैं सर, तहसीलदार धालीवाल सर
काम करना नहीं यार। मैं रोज बोलता पर ऐसा नहीं बोलता।
भाई अब रहने दो यार, ये एग्जीबिशन का तुम यहाँ पे मुद्दा मत बनाओ यार, प्लीज यार, प्लीज सर
2 मिनट तो दीजिए सर। पराली का इतना बड़ा
एक मिनट यार, पराली कुछ नहीं की पंजाब च कोई मुद्दा नहीं आज
सर मैंने आपको बोल दिया मैं पीसी करूंगा, आपने आ जाना उधर। अब बताओ नहीं देखो बताऊंगा, नहीं देखो
सर पराली को लेकर इतना बड़ा इशू
सर इशू क्या मैं प्रोग्राम किस में है? आप जबरदस्ती मेरे को बुला लेंगे तो फिर प्लीज मैं प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करूंगा, आपने उधर आ जाना, मत करो।
तो आप ये देख रहे हैं कि एग्रीकल्चर मिनिस्टर हैं कुलदीप सिंह धालीवाल, जो जिनको कन्फ्रंट करने की कोशिश की जा रही है, लेकिन वो इस मुद्दे पर बोलने को तैयार नहीं है। उनका कहना है कि जब मैं प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करूंगा तो प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में बात की जाएगी।
सर लगातार पंजाब में पराली जलाई जा रही है, लगातार पंजाब में पराली जलाई जा रही है, दिल्ली में पोल्यूशन हो रहा है। सर आप जवाब तो दीजिए सर। आपकी सरकार ने कहा था कि आप काम करेंगे, सर, लेकिन कुछ हुआ नहीं है। भगवंत मान जी इस तरह से कब तक होगा सर? सो आप देख सकते हैं किस तरह से पंजाब के मुख्यमंत्री भगवंत मान जो अभी कपूरथला हाउस से निकले, हमने उनसे पूछा कि लगातार दिल्ली में प्रदूषण हो रहा है, कौन जिम्मेदार है उसका? क्योंकि इनकी सरकार ने कहा था, आम आदमी पार्टी की सरकार ने कहा था कि जब उनकी सरकार बनेगी तो सरकार काम करेगी, आम आदमी पार्टी काम करेगी और दिल्ली में प्रदूषण नहीं होगा। लेकिन लगातार पराली जलाए जाने की वजह से दिल्ली का प्रदूषण लेवल जो है लगातार बढ़ता जा रहा है। लोगों को काफ़ी दिक्कतों का सामना करना पड़ रहा है, लोग सांस तक ढंग से नहीं ले पा रहे हैं।
केंद्र सरकार पूरी तरीके से सहयोग देती रही है। मेरे सहयोगी भूपेंद्र यादव जी ने, पर्यावरण मंत्री ने आप सबको बड़े डिटेल में बताया किस प्रकार से केंद्र सरकार की दी हुई सहायता को भी पंजाब और दिल्ली की सरकारों ने पूरी तरीके से इस्तेमाल नहीं किया। जो मशीनें भी खरीदी वो भी कोई अच्छी नहीं चली। एक प्रकार से सिर्फ स्लोगन और प्रचार प्रसार वाली सरकार पहले दिल्ली में थी, अब पंजाब में भी आ गई है। दोनों सरकारें पूरी तरीके से फेल्ड गवर्नमेंट्स हैं। दोनों सरकार जनता को जवाब नहीं दे पा रही है। और हाल में तो जो पुराने वायदे दिए गए 2018 के दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री अरविंद केजरीवाल जी के स्टेटमेंट्स, 2019 के वायदे, लगातार एक के बाद एक उनके सब बताई हुई बातें झूठी साबित हो रही हैं। केजरीवाल को जनता को जवाब देना पड़ेगा, भगवंत मान को जनता को जवाब देना पड़ेगा। ये दोनों राज्यों में जो परिस्थिति बनी हुई है वो बड़ी गंभीर है और जनता बुरी तरीके से परेशान है, चाहे वो पंजाब की जनता हो, चाहे वो दिल्ली की जनता।
Yes, so the Delhi air emergency, remember, continues to be our top focus story. More than about 2,666 incidents of residue burning have been recorded in Punjab in just the last 24 hours. Incidents of stubble burning have reached a total of 24,000 plus this year itself. Aam Aadmi Party's convener Arvind Kejriwal and the Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Singh Mann earlier held a joint press conference over the poor air quality in the Delhi NCR region. Now, the Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal says that primary schools would be shut down from tomorrow, and he says outdoor activities for senior classes is going to be limited across the city. The Supreme Court has agreed to an early hearing on the case of air pollution in Delhi, with the petition filed stating that the stubble burning was being done on a large scale in Punjab every day and that it was a question of the right to life. The Delhi Chief Minister further goes on to say that primary schools would be shut down from tomorrow. Outdoor activities will also be limited.
एक राज्य की हवा एक राज्य में नहीं रहती, इधर से हवा उधर जाती है, उधर से हवा इधर आती है। तो जैसे हम कई बार कह चुके हैं कि इसमें केंद्र सरकार को आगे आके इसके ऊपर स्पेसिफिक कदम उठाने पड़ेंगे ताकि पूरे उत्तर भारत को प्रदूषण से बचाया जा सके। ये पूरे उत्तर भारत की समस्या है, पहली चीज़। दूसरी चीज़, पंजाब में और दिल्ली में हमारी सरकार है। ये वक्त फिंगर पॉइंटिंग का नहीं है, ब्लेम गेम का नहीं है, एक दूसरे को गाली देने का नहीं है, इतने सेंसिटिव मुद्दे पे राजनीति करने का नहीं है।
The Aam Aadmi Party convener Arvind Kejriwal and the Punjab Chief Minister earlier held a joint press conference over air pollution in Delhi, taking up responsibility for pollution in the national capital, but also saying that they need more time to be able to deal with the situation effectively.
एक राज्य की हवा एक राज्य में नहीं रहती, इधर से हवा उधर जाती है, उधर से हवा इधर आती है। तो जैसे हम कई बार कह चुके हैं कि इसमें केंद्र सरकार को आगे आके इसके ऊपर स्पेसिफिक कदम उठाने पड़ेंगे ताकि पूरे उत्तर भारत को प्रदूषण से बचाया जा सके। ये पूरे उत्तर भारत की समस्या है, पहली चीज़। दूसरी चीज़, पंजाब में और दिल्ली में हमारी सरकार है। ये वक्त फिंगर पॉइंटिंग का नहीं है।
Now, there has been a continuous dip in pollution levels in the Delhi and the NCR regions that was reported this morning, with, remember, the AQI levels in the severe category now across the entire region. The AQI was recorded at 472 in NCR, 562 if you're staying in Noida, 539 in Gurgaon, and 563 this in the North Delhi region. The BJP hit back. They held a press conference over the entire issue, with the BJP Delhi President Adesh Gupta saying that Delhi has become a gas chamber, and he says this right now is endangering the lives of children, of the elderly, of almost everyone.
लाखों बच्चे, क्योंकि दिल्ली में हर दूसरा बच्चा बीमार हो रहा है। स्कूल जाने वाला एक बच्चा भी है, तो बच्चे तकलीफ में है, सांस लेना उनको दूभर हो रहा है। और दिल्ली में अरविंद केजरीवाल जी की सरकार ना तो प्रदूषण के कारणों का समाधान कर रही है और ना ही वो कोई भी बच्चों के स्कूल बंद हो इसके लिए कोई कार्रवाई कर रही है।
But this, remember, again is not just the only issue where you see a direct confrontation between the BJP and the AAP. The BJP has gone ahead to issue a fresh charge against the Delhi government, with the BJP talking of allegations at Delhi's Labour Ministry over migrant labourers. The Delhi Building and Other Construction Welfare Board and the BJP says this is a scam.
1 लाख से ऊपर रजिस्ट्री हुई है, मगर जब से आम आदमी पार्टी आई और मात्र 2018 से लेकर 21 के बीच, बिटवीन 2018 एंड 2021 लगभग 10 लाख वर्कर की रजिस्ट्रेशन जो है ये इस कालखंड में हुआ है, बिटवीन 2018 एंड 2021। 13 लाख 2006 से, और उसमें से लगभग 90% ये 2 वर्षों में 18, 19, 20, 21 ये जो 3-4 वर्ष का कालखंड है आम आदमी पार्टी का, उसके बीच में हुआ है।
And away from politics in Delhi to what's been happening in Morbi in Gujarat, now there is some bit of action finally. The chief officer of the Morbi municipality, Sandeep Singh Zala, has been suspended till the investigation in connection with the Morbi tragedy, and also until you have the real cause for the tragedy that is ascertained. And a major drama broke out earlier at the Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's rally at Solan in Himachal Pradesh. This was yesterday. Protesters gathered at a roadshow of the AAP convener, leading the police to lathi charge and disperse them. Some protesters were further taken into preventive custody. The Nainital High Court, while hearing a petition filed by Ankita Bhandari's parents in the Ankita Bhandari murder case, are seeking all evidence related to the scene of crime. The Prime Minister has earlier congratulated Benjamin Netanyahu for his most recent win, while thanking the outgoing Israeli Prime Minister Yair Lapid for prioritizing strategic relations between India and Israel. The Foreign Secretary of India, Vinay Quatra, met with the Secretary General of the United Nations, Secretary General Antonio Guterres, with issues of pressing concern, and he goes on to say that they have been discussed at the meet. Away from international stories to domestic politics, UP's anti-terror squad has arrested 2 people whose names have come up following interrogations that revealed their links with Al-Qaeda in the Indian subcontinent. 11 casualties have been reported after a bus collided with a car near Jhalan near Betul in Madhya Pradesh. Congress leader Mudhanamal Gowda, the SP actor and Chitradurga Lok Sabha MP for the JDU Shashi Kumar and the retired IS officer Anil Kumar have joined the BJP. A couple had a narrow brush with death as they tried to avoid a pothole in Bangalore. Following the incident, the couple fixed the potholes with gravel and with sand, all amongst themselves. Reports have come about of terrorists opening fire on 2 migrant workers, this in Anantnag in Jammu and Kashmir. While one of the migrant workers was reported to have been from Bihar, the other is reported to have been from Nepal. To Delhi now, where a major drama broke out at Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's rally. In fact, this is from Solan in Himachal Pradesh. This happened yesterday, where protesters gathered at a roadshow of the Aam Aadmi Party convener, leading the police to lathi charge. Congress leader Siddaramaiah commented on the death of Honalai MLA Renukacharya's nephew, stating that the death looked suspicious. Mega income tax raids are being carried out across the state of West Bengal as we speak. To the Enforcement Directorate now, that conducted raids across at least 12 locations in West Bengal and Jharkhand. This is said to be in connection with the illegal mining scam. UP's anti-terror squad arrested 2 people whose names have come up following interrogations that reveal their links with Al-Qaeda in the Indian subcontinent amidst the Jamaat-ul-Mujahideen. The TMC and the BJP earlier clashed in front of the Central Minister of State. This is Nitish Pramanik's convoy near Setai. This is the district of Cooch Behar in West Bengal. A case has been registered at a school in Guna in Madhya Pradesh over the school authorities allegedly punishing a student for shouting Bharat Mata Ki Jai. A major infiltration attempt was foiled by the Indian Army at the Poonch sector in Jammu and Kashmir after soldiers posted in the region observed movement from across the line of control. In the dock, in the cattle smuggling case, Anubrata Mandal's ex-bodyguard has been sent to 14 days of judicial custody. The crackdown on pro-Pakistan separatists intensified on Thursday as you had the Enforcement Directorate attaching a Srinagar-based property of Shabbir Shah under the provisions of the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. As the shocking CCTV images of the cruel incident went viral on social media platforms and news channels started telecasting it, the police took the 20-year-old accused into custody in the early hours of Friday, recorded his arrest later in the day. This entire incident, part of which you see on your screens. Over the last few years, the opposition parties have often questioned the credibility of EVMs. However, the Election Commission has reportedly maintained that EVMs are tamper-proof. Let's get you a quick check of also our top international stories. Israeli aircraft struck several targets, this in the Gaza Strip, in response to the rocket fired from the Palestinian enclave. The rocket attacks and the Israeli airstrikes, remember, are the first cross-border violence that you've seen since a ceasefire ended around a fight between Israel and the Islamic Jihad militant group. Do remember, Israeli military in response has said that they could be targeting an underground site that was used by Gaza's Hamas rulers as a rocket-making facility. The US President Joe Biden, speaking at San Diego County rally in California, has urged voters to go to polls to support the Democratic candidates, warning that a Republican Congress, he said, would reshape America by cutting back on health care and threatening abortion rights, also retirement security. Vice President Kamala Harris hit the campaign trail in New York City for Governor Kathy Hochul, a Democrat facing an unexpectedly competitive election. Remember, as Democrats are facing national headwinds in this year's midterm elections, hence there are plans of playing defense to shore up an incumbent blue state like New York, which could be a drastic marker of the party's grown fears. Hundreds of supporters of Jair Bolsonaro stood outside Rio de Janeiro's Eastern Military Command building protesting for the demand over military for stepping in to avoid a takeover by leftist government of President-elect Luiza Luisa Silva. The Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has thanked Greece for its first shipment of armored vehicles to Ukraine. This after he met with the Greek president, and he has also notified presence of a large Greek community in the south of the country. German President Frank-Walter has met with the South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol to discuss bilateral issues, also to jointly tackle supply chain and energy crisis. The 27th Conference of the Parties on Climate Change is set to gather in Egypt this month. Experts say that the conference has come in a timely manner as the continent of Africa has been affected by rising temperatures in recent times. Israel's former Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has made a rapid comeback as the Prime Minister Lapid conceded defeat in the recent general elections that were held. Ukrainian President Zelensky hosted the US Senator Rob Portman and Chris Coons in Kiev. Senator Portman, who's a Republican, and Coons, a Democrat, made a joint visit to the Ukraine ahead of the US midterm elections. Italian Prime Minister visited Brussels to meet with the heads of the European institutions and discuss issues concerning diplomatic aid to the nation. Tensions on the Korean Peninsula situation escalated to fresh heights when you had Northern Korea reportedly launching multiple missiles after a US-South Korea military drill earlier kicked off. To Twitter now, where Elon Musk has confirmed layoffs, the company has sent an email to employees asking them to be ready for layoffs, which he says possibly could happen today. Mega protest erupted in Pakistan in several cities. This is coming after the former Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan, remember, was attacked yesterday. And just today after the attack, the former Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan said that the protests will continue. Do remember these protests were staged by Imran Khan's supporters earlier today also. The US House Speaker Nancy Pelosi confirmed her husband Paul Pelosi's improving health condition. Now, Paul Pelosi, do remember, was attacked at his home in San Francisco. Justin Verlander overcame an early jolt to grit out the World Series win that long eluded him. Rookie Jeremy Pena hit a go-ahead home run and the Houston Astros beat the Philadelphia Phillies 3-2 Thursday night to head home with a 3-2 lead. England, on the other hand, prepared to kickstart with a new motivation for FIFA after last year's defeat in the finals of the European Championships. Having embarked on a sensational run to the 2018 World Cup final, Croatia head to the Qatar World Cup in the unusual position of looking like one of the stronger teams. Cameroon is banking on Rigoberta's song to break the World Cup jinx. They are, remember, up against Switzerland in their Group G opener that is scheduled for the 24th of this month. World number 1, Iga Swiatek of Poland made it to the WTA finals. Group wins from 2 with a comfortable straight sets over victory over France's Caroline Garcia in Texas.
Iranian protesters and security forces clashed in a town near the capital, where state-run media reported at least 2 deaths following the incident. At least 300 protesters are reported to have been killed and thousands arrested since the unrest began. The protesters gathered in Karaj, just outside Tehran, to mark the 40th day since the shooting death of Hadis Najafi, one of the several young women to have been killed during the protest that broke out over alleged moral policing in Iran. The 40th day after someone's death has great symbolism in Shiite Islam and is marked by public mourning. Commemorating protester deaths has given momentum to the ongoing demonstration, just as it did during the 1979 revolution that overthrew Iran's earlier monarchy. Agency report for Republic TV.
And now let's put our focus on the story that continues to dominate headlines. This, remember, is the air that you are breathing right now. If you stay anywhere close to Delhi, the NCR region, in fact, anywhere in North India, you are well aware of what you go through specifically when the season changes. During months of November, this is how the AQI soars up. On your screen, you're reading more details of the AQI levels right now being reported from different cities, particularly in North India. Thick smog blanketed Delhi on Friday as the city's air quality remained in the severe zone, this for the second straight day, essentially due to unfavorable meteorological conditions and raging farm fires in Punjab. Overall AQI in Delhi, remember, is 445. This is close to about 2 p.m. On the bottom of your screens, you're looking at a number that is continuously flashing. Do remember, if you stay anywhere close to Delhi, if you want to speak up, and tell us who you believe is accountable, do send us your messages, your thoughts, your feedback on that number, and we will put it out here on Republic. I'm told Piyush is joining us live right now from Noida. Piyush, where you are, the AQI is equally bad. You know, all of us are breathing this extremely bad, hazardous air. Piyush, What are the voices that you've heard so far? You know, it's a band-aid solution that you have an issue, so shut down schools, tell people to work from home. What about those Piyush who do not have the luxury of working from home? They have to go out, they have to step out to make their ends meet. What should they do?
Well, in fact, Deepthi, we are living in a gas chamber. This is what the environmental minister has also said, that because of the misdeeds of Aam Aadmi Party government in Punjab and Delhi, people are facing a lot of problems. Difficulties are being faced. Right now, I'm in Felix Hospital in Noida, and the air quality is as bad as national capital here also. It has also dipped down, and it has also crossed the mark of 400, which has come under the category of very poor. I'm here in the emergency ward, emergency department of this very hospital, where people are admitted who are facing a lot of issues because of the hazardous air. They are admitted here. They are facing breathing issues. Let me say, if I also try to speak from doctors here and try to understand about the cases which they are witnessing because of the hazardous air which people are breathing, not only in Delhi but also in NCR. I'm joined with Dr. Anshu Mala. She is a senior physician here. Let me try to understand from her, मैम कितने केसेस आ रहे हैं इस हॉस्पिटल में अगर हम एयर पोल्यूशन से अफेक्टेड जो लोग हैं उनकी बात करें?
आई मीन अभी हम शार्प इंक्रीज देख रहे हैं पेशेंट्स में रेस्पिरेटरी प्रॉब्लम्स वाले. ऑन एन एवरेज हमारे हॉस्पिटल में अभी इमरजेंसी में इफ़ आई से अबाउट 20 पेशेंट्स विद सीवियर रेस्पिरेटरी डिस्ट्रेस या ब्रीदिंग प्रॉब्लम से आ रहे हैं, जिसमें से कुछ तो बहुत सिक हैं, अराउंड 4 to 5.
And as we stay with our rolling coverage of the Delhi air emergency, viewers, today we are joined by prominent citizens. They are anguished and they are shocked at the apathy of the governments. I welcome on our show Mr. C.A. Sundaram. He's a senior advocate in the Supreme Court, someone who always speaks for the citizens. Mr. Sundaram, first, as I wish you well, because the Delhi air is poisonous, sir, I ask you, how are you personally trying to grapple with this situation?
It's a very sad reflection that all of us who have been living in Delhi all these years, it's almost like this has become a natural expectation. We have almost lost faith. We expect this situation every year. And we have reconciled ourselves that, look, this is going to happen. There'll be a lot of talking about it by governments concerned. Nothing will be done about it. And we'll be back to square A. We are in a position, and especially I can say as a lawyer, the Supreme Court has also been grappling with this. But basically, it boils down to the citizen. It is no use of us as citizens to complain about it. And the fault really lies with all of us. Look, the fact of the matter is, we give a number of reasons. Without a doubt, yes, geographically, the Delhi area is so situated that winds do tend to bring in pollution from other areas into Delhi. It also tends to stagnate in Delhi. This is geographical reality. But this is a reality which has always been there. So we either say we accept the reality and we continue suffering like this, or we do something about it. The point is, we cannot do something about it unless we as a country believe that we are a union. It doesn't mean that I live in a state, I do what I want, because the wind, the geographical factors are going to take whatever is the offshoot of what I'm doing, whether it's burning of rubble or otherwise, out of my area into another area. And therefore, I am clear and fine. Unfortunately, this seems to be the attitude. It is a farmer in a given area who wants to burn his rubble because why? He's not personally suffering from pollution. It is going somewhere else so far as he's concerned. He's not bothered about it. This, unfortunately, is the apathy of most Indians today, where they say, as long as I'm all right, I need not bother about anybody else. Now, how long can the Supreme Court be grappling with this problem? The Supreme Court can give various dicta, can give various directions. But finally, it boils down to the citizen to do something about it.
Yes.
It comes down to the government having a will to do something about it, a will to become unpopular even with a given area, a given state, becoming unpopular by preventing them from doing something. But the problem is there, the governments are not willing to take a step which they feel will make them unpopular in one given state. because they're going to come out with some kind of direction against people in that state. There's going to be an agitation there. They're not willing to face it. So look, unless this is a problem which we as citizens accept, we have a duty to do something about. Unless it's a problem that the government feels that irrespective of the vote bank, I will still do what is necessary to prevent it. And unless we as citizens, we as people, we as a government, see ourselves as a union and not an autonomous state which is bothered up for its own welfare. And until we do all that, I think every year we're going to be going through this and we're all going to be sinking more and more into this apathy. I can only hope that at some stage, the citizen, the government, the different states would all recognize the fact that we are one country and let's all work towards it, and we each have to do our bit. And don't leave everything to the court to have to sort out, give directions. Court cannot wave a magic wand and say that's the end of pollution. The court can give directions which they feel are going to assist in preventing it. But thereafter, who is going to actually, on the ground level, implement that? And that is where the government comes into play and has to be very firm. The relevant governments have to do something about it. Till then, well, all we can do is keep complaining.
Mr. Sundaram, you speak, like I've said earlier, also from the heart, and you're speaking in the voice of the citizen. I want to ask you a second question on criminal culpability. There is stubble burning. There are construction sites that are still open. Who does the criminal culpability lie with? It's the Delhi government versus the centre. It's a political war. But who really needs to get up, take accountability for citizens who continue to be poisoned year after year?
Number one, it is the citizen themselves. It is the citizen themselves who contribute to the pollution, who are answerable. Number two, the authorities who should ensure that the law is obeyed, that the citizens act in accordance with law, and they do not act in accordance with their powers, they are also culpable. So the culpability, and finally, the governments which are busy playing politics over it are also culpable. If you ask me about pure criminal law, yes, you can say so-and-so doesn't have the intention, somebody else doesn't have the intention. But this is a fact of what you're asking me is a question of culpability. What the legal effect of that culpability is a different issue altogether, which will be taken in each case. But offhand, I will tell you that if the government lays down a direction or a rule, and that rule is disobeyed, and that rule must have the teeth as to what will be done to the people who disobey it, then the person who disobeys it is culpable. The persons who are to implement that rule, who are to ensure that those who do not follow it are brought to book and they fail to act, they can also be proceeded with against, and they would also be culpable.
Yes. And Mr. Sundaram, what do you say about year after year? The Aam Aadmi Party today comes out in a joint statement with the Punjab Chief Minister of the Aam Aadmi Party and Arvind Kejriwal, the Delhi Chief Minister, and they say, yes, we shall do everything. The primary schools will be shut, but the centre needs to intervene. There is no state government that takes accountability to ensure stubble burning needs to be stopped, Delhi's air needs to be cleaned. It almost seems, Mr. Sundaram, as if they are waiting for both these months to quickly go by and January to arrive.
Well, naturally, it's a political issue. So far as the state government is concerned, they are bothered about their votes in that state. And they are worried that if they come down and stop the stubble burning, they're going to lose the votes of the farmers. So they say central government should do something. Why? Because the central government does it, then the unpopularity will be central government. The state government will play politics. The state government will turn around and say, see, we did not do anything. We did not stop you. It's that central government which did it. And therefore vote against the government which is in the central government. Vote against the party which is governing in Delhi. And instead, see, we did not do anything. Therefore, we are the good guys. They are the bad guys. Now, this is a clear case of playing politics. And the saddest part of it is, it's not only now, it's from times immemorial. The politician to play politics doesn't care a whit about the welfare of the citizen. If something will get them a vote, they will work for getting themselves a vote, irrespective of the consequence. And here you're seeing it. The state government, look at it this way. If there is rubble burning in a given state, and there's going to be the farmers who are going to be very upset with the government if the government comes down and says, look here, you can't do it. So the government, to keep itself popular, doesn't do anything, but instead says, look, it's the central government which should do it. Why? Because tomorrow they can go and say, I didn't do it, it's the central government which did it. So don't vote for the party which is ruling in the central government. So this kind of politics being played, which is why I started with this thing. Until we realize, it's all very well to say we are federal. Of course we are federal because we give states various rights. But unless we realize we're a union and our duty is to the country as a whole, and I can be a citizen of any one given state, but my duty is to India and not just my state. Until that mindset comes in, that mindset has to come in both into the mind of the citizen. And I can't say, I'm from Tamil Nadu, my duty is to Tamil Nadu, it's not to India. I should recognize I'm an Indian and my duty is to India as a whole. Until that mindset comes into the Indian, the citizen. And two, until that mindset comes into the local government which is ruling in that area, which is governing in that area, until they also see themselves as a part, the state that they are right then in governing is also a part of India, and they are a part and parcel of a political party ruling a part of India as a whole. Until both that mindset comes in, I'm afraid you'll never solve problems like this. You'll always be, look, I'm not bothered about somebody else, I'm only concerned about my own welfare. And that is the whole problem we are facing. And look at where we're suffering now.
Absolutely.
Like I said, we've come to a stage where we're used to it. We're already expecting it. We all already know. Those who can afford to do it already get their air purifiers and this and that in advance. And all we're doing is opening the papers every day to see, as it isn't today, is it rising tomorrow? And we're already predicting, Deepavali is come now. Soon after that, we're going to have more pollution. We're going to have this. I mean, it's a ridiculous thing, because unless everybody pulls together, you can do nothing about it. And everybody is not willing to pull together. And that's a sad truth. We're all responsible. As citizens, as government, we're all responsible.
Mr. Sundaram, that's a very fine note that, you're giving us these answers in. As someone who's a part of Delhi, you're a prominent citizen, you're a senior advocate in the Supreme Court. Several times we've seen you appear for right-minded citizens. I ask you my last question. You've told us we all need to take responsibility, but someone who's suffering, who's seeing this year after year, do you think the citizens and the government are going to buck up? Also, do you think, and how are you personally trying to ensure that you are saved from this emergency in Delhi? It's reached hazardous proportions.
Look, how I'm going to be saved? The fact is, don't ask me that question for the simple reason that I may have the wherewithal to get myself an air purifier, to do something at my house, see something about the pollution, to see that my car windows are up, that it's duly air conditioned, that there's an air purifier in the car. But I'm not the person. It's all very well. Like I said, we come back to how do I look after myself? What about all the people who don't have those facilities? And that we seem to forget about completely. See, this is exactly what I'm saying. Unless we all look at it as a common cause, and it has to be a common cause of all the citizens, not just of one city, all the citizens of India, which includes Punjab, includes Uttar Pradesh, which includes everything else. We have to see it as a common cause of the citizens. And government of each state should see themselves as a government of a state and as a government of India, in India, and not just isolate themselves. Until that mindset comes in, I'm sorry, these discussions can go on, and we're going to have a recurring problem. So it's not a question of how you and I look after ourselves. It's a question of how 90% of the people will look after us. And that's what concerns me.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Sundaram, for one of the very first times that I see you visibly perturbed along with us, because it's our children, it's our elderly, it's us ourselves who are suffering. And like you said, it is time we as citizens take action ourselves. Thank you, sir, for being with us.
Thank you.
And high-octane drama that was seen as Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's rally happened in Himachal's Solan, where protesters gathered at a roadshow of the AAP convener, leading the police to lathi charge and disperse them. Some protesters were further taken into preventive custody. A case has also been registered at a school in Guna in Madhya Pradesh over school authorities allegedly punishing a student for shouting Bharat Mata Ki Jai. The complaint has also been raised by student's father, who was made to sit on the ground for 2 subject periods for raising the slogan. A major infiltration attempt was foiled by the Indian Army in Poonch of JNK after soldiers posted in the region observed movement from across the line of control. One terrorist was shot at with weapons and ammunition was recovered from the site of the incident after the operations. Chairman of the UP Madrasa Education Board, while speaking on the Madrasa report to be submitted on 15th of November, stated that all the fieldwork had been completed in connection with the survey and that there were at least 16,500 legal madrasas in UP. Karnataka BJP leader Renukacharya's nephew was found dead in a car that fell into a canal after he was missing since Sunday. The nephew's body was found near a canal near the Honali taluk of Devanagari in Karnataka. And a quick roundup of all that's making news from across the country and the globe. Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan has alleged that the current Prime Minister, Interior Minister as well as an Army General were responsible for what has been referred to as a failed assassination.
And we cut across to breaking details that are just coming in, awaiting further information on this, but initial details are that Shiv Sena leader has been shot dead in Amritsar. Yet to get details of who this leader is and what exactly was happening there through the turn of events, but the pictures also putting out a sense of how things turned out. Shiv Sena leader who was shot dead in Amritsar. My colleague Amandeep will join us shortly to give us more details. This is Sudhir Suri, Shiv Sena leader who was shot dead in Amritsar. We are trying to gather more information on where this happened. Were they together for a meeting or was he out on a personal visit? Shiv Sena leader who was targeted, he belongs to the Uddhav camp. His name is Sudhir Suri and he was shot dead in broad daylight. We're also trying to get a sense of whether any CCTV cameras around capture what had happened, but the picture certainly indicating of